What you thinking, man?
I've been in the polyamory love style. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this like monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Like, I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, this complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
But see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, you did it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, the men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband and stuff like that.
Alrighty, what's happening? What it do? Welcome to another episode. Speak on the podcast 2K25. I'm the host, DJ Black. And y'all know how we do. We got those topics that we got to get into, that trending topics that's interesting to the community that a lot of people are afraid to touch up on. We just want to know why. See, can we find a solution? And we get on here, we voice our opinions from our perspective, and hopefully see can we come up with a solution type resolution by the end of the podcast. So share the live. You're gonna have a special guest or two on here tonight that's gonna also chime in with their thoughts. And I'm gonna do some trending news, trending topic, local news to give my co-host time to chime in real quick. And after that, we're gonna get this thing on the road. Alrighty. First off, I want to do a moment of silence. There's so much going on, but I want to do my personal moment of silence to good friend, mentor, all that introduced us hands-on at the radio station, even though I did radio in at ULM, but I had my knowledge of doing that going through Henry Cotton. Even though my family was originally involved with that radio station, I was too young. But I was blessed to have worked and been mentored by him, worked beside him, brilliant man. And he passed. He was also running for mayor at the time. And, you know, that was a devastation, moment. And shout out goes out to the Cotton family. And the city of Bastrop has lost a brilliant one. And he lived a good life. Whether you liked him or not, he lived as he wanted to. So I'm proud of that. And he owed us nothing. He went far and beyond to try to make the city of Bastrop livable again after the shutdown of the mill. So shout out to the Cotton family. Yeah, that was definitely a loss right there. So, and speaking of that, that's the bad news, sad news. I'd like to give a shout out to Mark Moore. He's like runner up. Well, actually, he got the most votes in the election this past weekend in the city of Bastrop. And I'm proud of this young man. And I feel like the city needs some young blood. You get what I'm saying? No, nothing against the older ones, but Mark is out there in the streets. He's out there in the community. And I just feel like city of Bastrop could use a change. So I love his slogan. If you want more, vote more. Vote Mark Moore. You can't get no better than that. If you want more, vote more. Okay, so yeah, he's runner up. Now you guys got to get out there. I think it's May 3rd. They're gonna do a runoff. Him and the current mayor, Mayor Olive. They're gonna do a runoff. So if you guys want change, you want younger blood, you want a change, something different, get out there and vote Mark Moore. So that's your thing. If you want to complain, you got to get out there and do your thing so you won't have to complain. But people always asking, where did he come from? Who is Mark Moore?
Who is Mark Moore? They gonna find out who's Mark Moore because y'all showed them who y'all want to be in office. Y'all showed them who y'all want to lead this city, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. But this battle's not over. I have not won this race yet. We have not won this race yet. May the 3rd is a runoff. May the 3rd, we got to go back to them polls. It don't take long. For the ones that already voted, you saw how long it took. It didn't take long at all. So May the 3rd, we got to get back to the polls. We got to get back out and vote again. And there's nothing wrong with going back. If you want better, we got to do better. Go back to the polls. If you're not registered to vote, please go get registered to vote.
man, like I say, fresh blood. Go ahead. You know, you want to change, a younger mind, younger ideas, still active. He goes to all the ball games. He the reason that I'm out of town and I'm able to still watch the Bastard Rams, you know, play ball. Shout out to Mark Moore. Good luck, man. You got my support. You need me anything, I'm a phone call away. Y'all hit me up. I had the pleasure of DJing his mother's birthday party, and we had a blast. So get at me if you need me, and I'll definitely show up and show out like I always do. Alrighty, and let's see what else is trending before we jump on this topic. Let's see. Okay, Ice Cube was definitely he's definitely doing his final Friday, so it'll be the last Friday. He's gonna go ahead and do that. It's official, so it's going down. It's official like a referee with a whistle. They will definitely be doing final Friday, so it's going down. So y'all need to check it out. Last Friday is definitely coming to the theaters. It's long awaited, long overdue. I'm hoping they get a chance to get Chris Tucker back. Uh, you know, like they say, Chris Tucker can be the OG and let the other guy that try to be like him, DC Youngfly, play his son or something like he was saying. So that'll be cool. You know what I'm saying? Because Smoking went to rehab, so he's OG now. He out of rehab, and now maybe his son's smoking it in the streets and acting like he was acting. So I think that'll be a pretty cool little concept. But I look forward to that. That's going to be a good one. Alrighty, and entertainment news. Alrighty, Drake Nokia single has finally surpassed Kendrick Lamar. Even though Kendrick has 2 songs on there, Drake has finally reached #1 with the Nokia song. You know what I'm saying? I jumped on that one. It was pretty cool. The beat switch kind of, you know, took me for a loop, but I'm good. I'm good. And he dropped the video this week. It had like over 1 million views in less than 8 hours. And he was showing black and white, dark skin, not black and white, but dark skin and light skin, blacks uniting. It was a video where he kind of took a lot of things from the Super Bowl that Kendrick did. You need to check it out. Uh, he took things from the Super Bowl, the Squabble Up video, the Not Like Us video. He has the owls at the end. My first impression of the video, I looked at it at face value. I wasn't impressed. I wanted him to come with more old school in the club type. But when I looked at the hard work that those girls put in for the dancing, and I started looking at the symbolism, you know, and how he copied a lot of things. He trolled the Kendrick Lamar. He got the dance step down. His dance steps are actually smoother than Kendrick's. But yeah, after I watched it 2 more times, I caught the whole thing, and it's actually a great video. It's getting hella views, steady going up. So Drake is back, even though they wanted to bury him. I don't think it's gonna happen, at least no time soon. And before last but not least, I think this is the last trending topic here, is Drake is continuing to do his UMG lawsuit. He's going through with it. They tried to dismiss it. Oh, he lost the battle. Let's kick it out. But the judge went ahead and granted him to keep the case going. And so now we're trying to see what's going on with UMG. What are they trying to hide? Everything from the Angie Stone thing to, there's just so much going on behind the scenes with Lucian Grange and UMG. Let's see what they're hiding. You know what I'm saying? So the judge granted the case to continue, and they also gave Drake, granted him permission to see Kendrick's contract so he can see exactly what's in this contract, because Kendrick was hesitant on signing the contract, and then all of a sudden when Not Like Us dropped, he signed the contract. So now we need to see what's actually going on behind the scenes with that one. And I think that's it for the trending topics. And yeah, I was trying to finish it before the 30th hour. So that worked. Now let's see as I bring my people to the stage and we will discuss tonight's topic. Look like I see AJ, Manda, Austin, and George. Well, AJ dropped off, so she'll be back. Hold on a moment. And let me get Drake off of there. But yeah, man, y'all need to check that video out. It's kind of hot. I liked it. Okay. One moment. And okay, there go AJ. Hold on a moment to bring AJ on. AJ jumped on here last week and turned the panel up, so she's back this week. Ain't no telling what's gonna come from her. So that's gonna be very, very interesting as we play this thing by ear. And we have Manda on the line. Manda, introduce yourself. What's going on? What's happening with you?
Hey everybody, I'm Amanda. Thank you so much for having me. I host a podcast myself called Wired to Be Rich. And so when James reached out to me today, when he told me that y'all would be happy to have me, I jumped right on it. So thank you. Nice to meet everybody. Hi AJ, hi George, hi D, hey James.
What's going on?
Yeah, we've been needing females' opinion on certain topics, and I think this will be a pretty good one as we dive in here tonight. Why, the question is why Black women are the least to marry, but yet the first to file divorce. And that's what we're going to talk about. There's several reasons, but we're going to chime in. We actually have women on here. Then I also have videos and data to back up a lot of our thoughts. But yeah, that's what the topic is about tonight. So if anybody watching, the link is at the bottom of my page. But actually, it's at the bottom of everyone's page. Austin, George, my page, to click on the link if you want to join the live. And the chat box is open, and I will be watching the chats tonight. So, but yes, here we go. So, how we want to open up? Who want to open up with why you think the divorce rate is so high?
Well, the statistics say that if you get in divorces, there's 70% of women that initially file for divorce. And
you kind of low, George. This is the lowest it's ever been.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons that I wanted.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let George finish. Austin.
Okay, let me make sure I got my earphones off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you.
Y'all hear me okay?
Clear now.
All right. What about now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Statistically, in divorces, 70% of the time is the woman that initiates it. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact of the devaluing of marriage, especially among a lot of women that I know, because people get married without the intent of really sticking it out a lot of times. And it's so easy. Divorce is so easy now, and it's predicated on so many flimsy issues. I'm not happy, so I want a divorce. Well, a marriage does not guarantee you happiness. That's on you. You can't expect for a marriage to make you happy. And a lot of times, a lot of them are not healed. They're not whole. So they're not able to really sustain a long-term relationship, let alone a marriage. So they'll look for a way out. Now, I do think you're going to see that trend change, because I think you're going to see more men showing more self-interest and saying, this is not for me. But I think for a long time, there's been a culture with a lot of women, not just Black women, but women in general, the do me culture, the do you culture. So there's not that level of really long-term commitment. You got people that get into marriage and say it's not what they expect. It's a lot harder than what they expect. And that's why a lot of times people just figure, well, I'll just get out of
it. Yeah. Now, one reason that I wanted to, I asked Amanda to be on, is because she falls into the young Black women that are educated and unmarried, right? And so what she has not done is, I think she has not allowed society to push her into um, those
Social norms.
those social norms that you have to be married by a certain age, you have to do this and you have to do that. Um, but and I think she's done very well from the time that I've known her. I think she has elevated herself, and she pushed to do so, and now she's out in the dating pool.
Ah,
Um,
how is that going for you?
and that's one thing that I wanted her to come on and
Right.
express also.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I just missed that point. What was said? I'm sorry.
She's just now getting into the dating pool.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
she's not getting back into the dating pool.
seasoned woman, single,
Right.
in the dating pool of today.
Oh, that's some treacherous water. Treacherous water. So
it
I can
ain't
see
been
you.
it hasn't been that bad though. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It really hasn't. But I mean, in regards to this topic, statistically, George is right. Black women are hired to divorce, but I really think, as kind of James mentioned, like with my specific lifestyle, as Black women, as we continue to elevate, like you said, we're educated, or more Black women are getting educated, and more Black women are making higher incomes, and it's starting to just be a really huge gap. And as we know, financial strain is one of the biggest problems when it comes down to divorce rates and marriages. So I think it's just more so Black women are starting to wake up and kind of realize that we've been kind of settling a little bit.
Right.
It comes
But
down
at
to
the
being
same token too, men are starting to realize the same thing. And a lot of these women that are out here and educated and doing the damn thing, a lot of men are like, that's not what I want. They're like, I want a
Okay.
traditional wife. I don't need a woman with her own career. I don't need this. So
My
it
thing,
kind of
what
goes
y'all
both
talk
ways.
about the settling and women making money and all that crap. It shouldn't be
okay.
based, it shouldn't be based on that. If
Yeah,
you're
it could be.
deciding to marry somebody, it should be based on because you want to be with that person. Getting
Right.
with them for financial dependency, that sucks. So with you being educated and getting the bag and choosing to be with a lover who you don't need, it's because you want to be. That's what it's about, finding a companion, someone to be with. Not necessarily, well, we got our money now, we got our cars, we're making more money, we the most educated, we don't need them anymore, we done woke up, fuck the niggas. No. I
Because to a
feel
man,
like,
that really don't mean, to a man, that really doesn't mean anything. We
that's what I'm
don't care
saying.
if
So
you're
I'm saying
educated.
it
We don't
should
care
be
about your
just,
money.
I don't want nobody who I just have to take care of. But on the same note,
No, yeah.
you don't want to
Right.
die
Which
alone. A
one
lot
do
of them don't
y'all
want to
want?
die alone.
Which one do y'all want? Y'all say
Thank you,
y'all want
AJ.
a 50-50
Exactly.
I'm
woman.
gonna tell you what I
Y'all
want.
want a
I
woman
think
to go
Yeah.
50-50. And
I,
then George
I
They
would
talking
say
about
like.
you
he
want
want a
what now?
traditional
What?
woman. That means you gonna do 100%. You want a traditional wife. You gonna have to
Exactly.
do
No, not
100%.
No, the
traditional,
deal is
You
just
want
this.
not
you want a
traditional in
traditional
that
wife,
sense.
but you don't want to be the traditional
No.
husband. Y'all
That's not
tripping.
true.
Who said they don't want
That's
to
not
do?
true. I don't know how people saying that men don't want to be traditional. That's the problem. Y'all don't understand. We do want traditional. You know what I'm saying? I'm
But
not
you
saying there's
also
anything
want
wrong with a woman
50-50.
doing.
No, they
I
do.
get.
I don't do
The
50-50. I do
50-50 is
100.
them 35 and under brothers that still was sucking on their mama titty and
Right.
and they not ready to be real men. But I grew up watching Big Daddy. I grew up watching my dad who got out there,
They
they
had
worked hard.
multiple houses they was taking care of.
Mm-hmm.
I watched
Maybe.
them. So I took what I learned from them and mixed it with what's going on here so I wouldn't be no damn
Mm,
fool. And then I
mm.
came up with
I'ma take my
my
tea.
perfect formula. And
Right.
so my thing is the way I live, everything that I have, I own the car, the house, everything that I have. If I didn't have a mate, I'm still gonna have what I have,
Right.
plus more.
And I
I
tell you
don't
this.
depend on no mate to help me meet
Right.
my bills. I
And
don't
I
depend
tell
on
you
no
this. I was
wife to
married.
help me pay my car note, my house. If she dropped dead, I left today. My bills are still gonna get. I'm still gonna live like I'm living.
But here's
Within
the
my,
thing: a lot of women place their value on their education and their money. They don't understand. It don't mean a damn thing to over your
a
man.
lot
A
of
man
women
can look at your
lead
character.
with their
These
education.
women, I hear a lot of women. They'll get online. They talk about
Can I
I'm
chime in?
NBA, but we don't hear about your character.
But can I chime in on that real quick? Because
Please.
y'all have said this. Y'all say men don't care about a woman having a good job or a good degree, but then you just said that, but you don't want to take care of nobody. So if I come to you and I'm like, I'm single and I'm available, I don't have a job, I don't have a degree, you're going to be like, I don't
It's
want
a
you.
lie.
Baby,
Being
you ain't got nothing
But
going
if a
for
woman,
yourself.
Exactly. So I'm
hold on, George.
confused.
okay,
Just like I said, I'm gonna take care of me and whatever around me anyway. I'm anointed like that. I'm blessed like that. So you don't have to have nothing.
right,
But if you want education, I'm gonna find a way to get you education. If I have to pay for books or whatever, we get you whatever you need, a student loan, help you fill those out. If you want a job, I got hella resources and connections. I'll get you a job, but it's not mandatory because I'm gonna make sure, and I live nice, and I'm gonna make sure whomever in my cycle, whoever in my circle, they live nice too, even friends. So
right.
you don't have to with a man like me. You don't have to.
No, you don't.
That's not a requirement to be in my life. Is you coming with education and a damn job? No, sir. You gonna
Yeah,
be
I mean, it's
nice.
nice if you got it.
I'm
It's
gonna
nice if you
enhance you.
got it,
We can
but
enhance each other. That's how I
yeah.
live.
Yeah, we don't really. I mean, most men I know, that's not what we look at when we look at it. We're not looking at her degree. We're not looking at her income.
No.
We're looking at her as a woman and her character. That's
Well,
what I'm
that's
Yeah,
looking
just
at.
I
as
don't
important to
need your
us.
money. I
That's
need
just as
someone
important.
who wants me for me,
Right.
who's gonna be lovable. I want to see your feminine side. I don't need nobody trying to be just as hard as me. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? So it's certain things I require. And a job, a high paying job and a Harvard degree, a Stanford degree is not on my checklist of women I'm looking for.
I was
Right.
watching the pop the balloon thing, and this woman said that all she wants to do, she doesn't want to work. She doesn't want to work at all. She just wants to sit at home, make sure she caters to her man. Now, let's. How much does it take for a man to make for a woman to sit at home? If we look at maybe about 6% of black males make $100,000 or more, right? And with if you want to live, depending on what your lifestyle is, $150,000, $180,000 is nothing to blow through. So if you want to, and depending on how you do your finances, right, how you handle your bills, but again, depending on the lifestyle that you want, things that you want to do, then $180,000 is nothing.
I,
Nothing.
I say that like you say, at the end of the day, that depends on how you want to live. Because I know people living good off 100,000,
30,000.
40,000. I mean, not 40,000. I know people living good with at least 80
But you
grand
know what? That
with
I'd
a four
rather
member household.
be rich, right? I mean poor than rich. You see what I'm saying?
It
I'd
depends
rather
on
be
it depends on what you're doing. Like my vehicle's paid for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not looking to acquire. I don't believe in financing like talking about. The
you
mortgage is
know
the
how
only
they
thing that I
say
really want to finance. I don't get loan. I have my credit cards paid down to zero balance. Um, Credit score right at 800. You know what I'm saying? 760, 771. So I'm good in that area. I don't create a lot of debt. And I don't I buy everything I want. And we're good. I get the kids everything they want. The wife get what she wants, and we pay for it, and we're good. We're not people that if I'm looking at a Drake video and I see a coat he got, I got to get that coat. We looking at love and hip hop, and I see a watch somebody got, or she see a Chanel bag, I got to go run and get a Chanel bag. It's not about that with us. And we
Hey,
take
D,
trips. We go. We take trips. We
D,
go on cruises. We
D, let
go
me,
to Miami.
can I say this, D? And you
Oh, and
may
that's
just,
Kirk, y'all. What's happening, Kirk?
hey, how y'all
That's the
doing? How
OG.
y'all doing, room? And you might disagree with me, but you more of the exception than the rule.
in most instances, it has. Even back when I came up, and I'm 10 years your senior, or 12 years your senior. It was a two income home for us with a family of, I'll say, a family of 5 or 6. It was a two income home, and nowadays it takes a substantial amount depending on the lifestyle, like you say. But I've always had strong women around me that worked. And as long as it, now my grandmother didn't work, but my mom worked, all my aunties worked. Most women I knew worked, grew up working. But as long as I like, personally, I think a woman should want to develop some skill sets. And for me, as long as she's not neglecting the relationship, just as if I'm working, she won't want me neglecting the relationship, the same thing applies. But and I got kids who got women in their lives, wives in their lives that work, and they make compatible incomes.
Mhm.
But it's all based on the lifestyle and what they're trying to achieve as a couple, because there is strength in numbers. Now, I granted you can and you have been able to manage all that you do, and that's great. But you more, I'm telling you, you more of the exception than you are the rule. It's a lot
Well,
of men. It's a lot of men that has multiple people in their income, and that, I mean, in that household, and that one income just ain't enough, man.
You know, so one thing, if I were a woman, I would not want to put all of my faith and trust in this man, right? Even though, hey, love, yeah, you fall in love, you're happy, blah blah blah, but sometimes that's fade, and then it also leaves room for control. And then what if that man dies or something happens, and even if you had a good life insurance policy, there is a possibility that there's going to come a time that you have to go out and gain employment, right?
mhm.
And if the best thing that a woman can give is her monkey, that monkey get tired, and sometimes that monkey gonna retire at some point, right? Because it don't work like it used to,
Yeah, especially if you're knocking it out the frame every third Friday, you know.
But
right? So
because
so
you
you
know,
can't rely on that all the
we
time. So
all
you're gonna
say
have
that.
to you're gonna have to have some skills in order to put out in the market where you're able to
And I
continue living the way that you need to
And
live.
all
and
I'm
I
saying,
I agree with
tell
I
that
agree
daughter,
with with that.
don't depend on that nigga. What we
Yeah,
say? We tell our
I
daughters,
agree with
hey,
all of that.
get
I
your
was just
own.
saying that it's not a requirement because I can get you a job. I'm a
Right.
walking job. I can you can get education. So your degree and the job is not a necessity. It's nice. We
Right.
add this to what into the pot, you know what I'm saying, of what we have,
Exactly.
but it's not a requirement. I can because I see potential in people. I'm not going to be used now. If she coming in and all she want to do is just lay on her back and think that sex is what it doing, she don't have no drive or nothing to do anything else. That's a turnoff. She's out the door. But if she's like, I lost my job, I got into it at my last job with a team lead or a supervisor. They wrote me up. I got fired. Now I'm trying to find somewhere else, and it's been a struggle finding a job that I want in my field that I'm educated in. Blah blah. I understand that. So let's do this, do
Right.
this, do that until you're able to get what you want. But coming to me with a, oh, I got 3 masters and this and that and a doctorate and that. That's not impressing. That's not, it's impressive, but that's not required for me to be in a relationship with a female. Because I'm gonna
Hey,
make sure we good anyway. And what
hey,
you bring to the table, you enhance our lives.
Right.
Can I
hey,
use your example, please? You
Sure.
said in your example, you said if she came to you and said, "Hey, I got into it with my supervisor and walked off my job," That's her character.
No. She got fired. She didn't walk off.
Well, she got fired because she don't know how to
Well, she
control
probably stood
herself
up for herself on the job, and the super, when it depends on what color and who is in charge, they can say, well, here's your walking papers. And at these at-will states, they don't need no reason to get rid of you. They can see you as a threat because of your education and find a reason to get rid of you because she stood up. Well, I was late that day, but I have this excuse. Well, you didn't turn the excuse in time, or whatever the case may be. There's a way that they can try to get you out of the door, and if you try to stand up for yourself, a lot of people don't like strong women or men that speak up for themselves on certain corporate jobs. I used to bump heads all the time when I was at Chase.
Banda.
Yeah, they don't have to. In the state of Texas, they don't even need a reason to fire you.
That's what I just said. At these at-will states, they can get rid of you whenever they want to.
But there's still labor laws to help that out too. But hey, Amanda, earlier in one of your posts, you were saying something about dusty men and Build-A-Bears and those type of things. So, so if a man comes to you and maybe he was making $120,000 last month, but he got fired, so he's in the process of looking for a job. Hey, babe, look, I see you at the gas station. Let me pump your gas. Hey, by the way, my name, blah, 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 blah. Then maybe y'all start talking. Then later on down the line, he'd be like, hey, look, I'm not working right now, in between jobs. Now, is that something that you would entertain, or is that one of your Build-A-Bears that you were referring to?
Well, see, in that case, now that is a little bit different. Like if I met a man and then like you said, a couple months after I met him, he's like, I'm not working. Well, then I would have to really consider, what are you doing in that free time? Like, are you just not doing anything? Or are you trying to get a job just to say you have a job? Are you comfortable? Because if you're comfortable, then I'm not going to talk to you. I don't have anything to do with you. We have nothing in common. But if you are someone who was unfortunately fired, because James, as you know, I was fired from my last job or quit, however you want to put it. If you're someone that's just comfortable with just taking anything, then we're not aligned. But if you're somebody that is trying, you're upskilling, you're applying to really good jobs, and you're waiting for something to happen, then that's something that I can work with. And that's kind of what I mentioned in that video. Like, I don't mind holding down a man that's ambitious, but where I draw the line is a man that's complacent. I don't want no man who just want to make $40,000 to $50,000 a year. I'm not saying that because that's some people's regular salaries, but that's not mine, and that's not my lifestyle anymore. And so I worked hard to get to where I am, so I need a man to match that. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. Why would I date down if I put in all this work for myself?
But why is a man? Why? See, here's the thing: women get all the value coming out the womb. Men, we don't do anything until we earn it, until what we provide. Because and like I said, I was married 16 years, divorced, engaged for 5 years. I've been dating for the past 2 years. Now I'm in a relationship, and it seems like as a man, you judge by your income. That's it. Because if you make less, they settle it. Doesn't matter how you treat them.
But that's true, though. But that's true.
Here's the thing. In my past relationships, I was never with a woman that was, I felt like was a partner. They were like, help me get this bag, let's do this until I just started dating somebody a few months ago. I never had it.
I agree with Kurt. I'm an exception to the rule because ain't no woman ever came to me with a damn hands out about pay bills. You got to make this, you got to make that. I never had that. So when y'all talk that language, I don't get it.
But that's traditional. I thought y'all said y'all like traditional.
Traditional that's not what we do about
traditional is women holding their hands out, begging a man to take care of them.
In the traditional sense, the man took care of the household, all the bills and all the things. That's traditional.
The key word you said was he took care of. He wasn't asking him to. He volunteered. There's a difference. There's a difference. Back in the day, since we want to talk tradition, we want to talk real tradition, that man saw that woman. He wanted to be with that woman. He took that woman in. He took care of that woman. It wasn't you got to have a job if you're going to be with me type thing back with Big Daddy now. They
Ain't
saw
nothing
that when they
going
took care
on
of
but the rent.
And I tell a lot of women this: if you with a man and he don't grind for you and ain't trying to take care of you, that means you're not the one for him.
them. Right. You
Because
shouldn't
a
have to
man would
ask.
want to do that for a woman.
You shouldn't have
That
to
means
ask.
it's something about you that makes him not want to do that.
Right. You shouldn't have
So
to ask. When I met my wife, she didn't ask me for nothing. She didn't want me
Right.
paying out one bill. What I used to have to do is she'll mess around and leave one of her bills open in the car, and I'll take it, go up there, and pay it. Because if
so
I sent her money, she would send it back to me. Because she was like, I don't need your money. She working, she educated, she making her own things. So I felt like she needed something. No. So I just started surprising her when she'll be like, okay, bill due Friday. I'll hear her say that, or I'll look on the bill and see that. And I would sneak that Wednesday and pay the bill. So then
But
when
I
you
tell
go
you,
up there to
let me
pay it
say
and they
this.
say,
I
well, that
tell you
bill's
this one,
already been paid. I
and
wanted to do that. She didn't hold her
this,
hand out, and I wish a
right.
woman would hold her hand out to me. That's the quickest way to get a door slammed in your
And
face.
I
Hey,
tell you what,
George.
a lot of these women, they file for divorce, they get out there and they get run through so quick. I hear so many stories from female friends. Boy, I'm just getting run through out here, and they'll say it. I thought the grass was greener, and it's not. It's
Let me
not
say
always.
this. So my son was living in Vegas. He was working for a company called Life Extensions. My son has his his undergrad in science and chemistry, and then he had his master in applied medicine
Mm.
and physical medicine. And so he went to work for a company called Life Extensions. He was living with a girl out there. That didn't work out. He moved back to Texas to help his mom out with his siblings that she was keeping. And I ran across a young lady. I was doing a job at a lady's house, and I ran across her daughter. I said, "Hey, you need to meet my son." It's a true story. I said, "He's available. He's single. He's been here so and so and so." So when he came to Texas, he had the hardest time finding a job, even with the 3 degrees that he had. So when he met Kanisha, who's an actress, Kanisha was already making over 100K. She does a lot of commercial work. She's done some shows, and she's still acting. And so she went on a couple of dates with my son. They dated 3 years, and now they married. But when she met my son, my son didn't have. He was driving a little hoopty, and he didn't have a job. And now he's working for Dallas County Health Department, making 6 figures. But she hung in there with him, didn't never made him feel like. That's why he said all the women he had dated, he knew what he had. He knew the type of person. She wasn't looking at dollar signs.
Yeah,
Or
but they say now it's tradition that a
she
woman
looked at
walk
him.
in a relationship looking for you to take care of them. They want the
Well,
6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet, six
well,
Yeah,
inches.
she looked at him
let
for
me
who he
6 inches.
was. She looked at him for who he was, and now they've built. Now they're building the life that they want together. And the same thing happened to my other son. My other son, now he brought his woman up because she had got a charge. So back in college, some guys talked to her and her cousin into driving some weed from New Orleans back to Grambling, and they got caught, and she got a charge. So when she started dating my son, who had his degree in computer science, and he was working the Walmart Corporation, they recruited him from Grambling. She wanted to go in nursing and couldn't get into nursing. And the people in the Ravens in Bastrop, they know the governor of Louisiana. He wrote her a pardon so she could get, because she couldn't even, they wouldn't even let her go to nursing school, man. And so now she makes 6 figures. And
Right.
so,
So if it's somebody you like, you don't mind helping them come up without
right.
you saying
So,
you gotta
so
you
So
gotta
yeah,
make 150,000 to even talk to me. You gotta
they
match.
realized the qualities, both of them realized the qualities in the mates that they had. And they saw that, hey, despite this person's shortcomings, I see something valuable in them because You can meet that guy that's making 6 figures and he beat the dog shit out of you. And he'll come off looking one way and it'll all shine at first. But
Now, one
a
thing that
lot
I
of times
agree,
it's
one thing that
what
I totally agree with Manda on though, ambition. They have
right.
to have some type of ambition. Should no man really want to take care of a woman with no ambition, no drive, and and vice versa. A woman damn sure shouldn't take care of no man, period. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like if they see potential, like you said, like she said, if 2 months done pass and she's not seeing the grind, the hustle, they got to get this, I'm trying to get that, what you're applying to, let me see, I'm going to hang with you today to see what you're doing or whatever to make sure.
Well,
So she did say she was open for if they had a
But
shortcoming.
now,
Well, that's
now,
where I was coming from, because I was like, and I can only talk from experience, but I have held a man down in that regard before,
Okay.
and it was not pretty. It was
I
stressful. It was
figured
nasty.
that.
It was ugly. So it's like, I don't mind you not having something. You're gonna have to have ambition, but a man that's just broke and lazy. No, I don't want to talk to you. I don't care how fine you are. I don't care how funny. I don't care how well you dress. We have nothing in common.
Oh yeah.
I
When
want
you pass
kids.
35 and you got bills, smelling good and
It don't
cornrows
mean
in your
nothing.
head.
It don't mean nothing. Yeah, because I want kids. I want a house. Like, that's what
Right.
I like. How I'm gonna build that? But and it's like, men these days, they want you to just have this blind faith in them. But no, I'm not. No, absolutely not.
Well, I think a lot of it is not necessarily them wanting to have. Well, it is them wanting to have blind faith, but you just got a lot of men nowadays saying, "I'm gonna forego the whole marriage thing. I'm gonna forego the whole kids thing, and I'm just gonna worry about myself." They like married, or
Yeah.
especially if they've been divorced. They like, I'm not doing that again.
I'm gonna tell
So,
you
and the
what I
thing is,
saw.
a lot of these women that consider themselves settling, the men they want are not the men that want them.
And I'm gonna touch up on that too. But a friend of mine decided he made good money, but he ended up dating a woman that became a traveling nurse. And so within them dating, and he had other women that he was seeing, he decided he wanted to marry her
Right.
because she's a traveling nurse. She fell into some money through a tragedy that happened in her family, and she was balling. She got willed a house and a nice, beautiful home. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go home and marry her." I said, "You finna marry her because of that?" He said, "Hell yeah, they've been marrying us for stability. So why can't a man do it?" So that situation changed like in the early 2000s. Men started looking at women using women, looking at women for what they have.
Right.
Even though he was making good, he made hella good money, but he married someone who made just as much because she made just as much.
Right, and that's my point. Just was, if a
And they
man is
hate
making
each other.
if
They
a
hate
man
each
is
other.
making $250,000 a year, he don't want a woman making $40,000 a year. I don't care how good her stuff is and none of that. That's not gonna happen. So a lot of these women are pricing themselves out the market, saying they selling. It's like, wait a minute, you got to see what you bring to the table too. And I know some people get offended when men
I
ask
don't look
women
at the
what you
table,
bring to the
bro.
table, but you got to bring some.
I don't look at the table
if I
because
had
I
if
love
I
myself
hey
and I'm
man,
gonna
let me
take care of
tell you
myself.
something.
I don't look at
If
the
I was
table.
making a quarter meal
I do.
and I met a
I
woman,
ain't gonna be no damn fool.
that made $50,000, man, and she treated me right, I'd take her all day, every day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not one that's messed up about what they make, man. Whatever they make is cool, long as they not taken from me. I gotta buy Chanel. We gotta go out every weekend. We gotta go to all
okay,
these 5 and 6 star restaurants.
okay, okay.
If I'm not in that and she's draining, if she's not a debt, if she's not a burden, I'm cool.
But I want to
You know
ask
what I'm
why.
saying?
I want to ask why. Because if a woman is agreeing, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to take care of your kids, I'm going to take care of your house, why can't I get a Chanel bag? I'm doing everything that you can't do.
No, I'm saying long as she's not draining me with it. I got no problem gifting. But if
Okay.
you every time you see Yandy or Rashida in an outfit or with a bag, you want. I'm not doing that. That's when you get your own job and you take care of that. But I would give that to you. I do a lot of just because.
Okay.
So Yeah, if I see she look at that and she said, "Ooh, that's a bad bag," I didn't store up that in my mind. And then maybe one day she'll just be chilling. She had a rough day at work or so. And then when she go in the car to go to the store, I send her to the store to get something. When she get in the car, she sit in the seat in the passenger side. It's a bag. It's that bag that Rashida had.
Now, we've had conversations on here,
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard you all say that you're not going to pay thousands of dollars for no purse.
Not on a regular basis, no.
What's
but
a
if
regular
that's what
basis?
they want, I give you what you want because I want you to give me what I want. So yeah, we're not going to do this every day. Like I said, you watching Love and Hip Hop, she see it, and I just got her one bag. Oh, that's another bag. No. I'm not spending that on that. But if that's something she wants, and I know she wants it, I got no problem. That's gifting. That's a gift.
Yeah, and that's fine. And then here's my thing too. I want to marry a woman I don't mind giving half my shit to. I want a woman that's gonna help me build somewhere. If it don't work out, I'm like, hey, you earned your half of this. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different than somebody that's. I mean, I'm just saying it's different than somebody that's just begging.
That's one way to look at it, George. George be coming with some shit. That's one way to look at it, homie. You gonna work for this half.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know,
I don't know, man. My ex used to, when I first came to Texas, I had a good job. I was making really good money, $37 an hour, and I was working a ton of. We had just both come out of.
That girl. Yeah.
We had just come out of marriages, and she wasn't working, and I sent her to real estate school. She wanted to go to real estate school.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she saw that, what happened, I got laid off. I was working for the auto industry, and we got laid off. And so I went to DirecTV and start doing satellites. And so the money was a huge dropout. And it wasn't even a year. She's like, shit, I don't see how we gonna make it.
Love under conditions.
Hey, and I told her, I said, listen, nothing's stopping you from getting what you want. You could go have anything you want. And right to this day, she's remarried. We're still good friends. And she tell me right to this day, you the best man I ever had in my life.
You just didn't make enough money.
Had I been the mature person I am today, I would have realized that, cause now she's a doctor, got her own practice, and she teaches 2 classes at the university, and she does couples counseling and weekend retreats. They take $1,500 a weekend, and she says she can't even book them fast enough.
Well,
so
shit,
she's
Kirk,
making all the money. She's making all the money she could stand. And we were so good together, and she knew it. That's why we still cool, because she knew there was nothing wrong with us. And she got
you just
caught
didn't make
up.
enough money. And like he said, that's her character.
Yeah, she got caught up. And now she's like,
see, that's the thing. At the end of the day, we can get out, we can make all this money, we can get with a person that makes just as much money as we do. But if there is nothing there, you're just sitting in the house, a $700,000 house, 2 vehicles, $50,000-$60,000
She wound up
each.
marrying a school teacher.
But
he made
what I'm
more
saying,
money than I did. See?
I understand it. But so what I'm saying is, people that keep driving after these men that are making X number of dollars and then acquiring all these things together, all you're doing is acquiring things with no happiness.
You got to have some substance, man.
What
and
a lot of women not realizing,
a lot of those high value men are settling by being with them because they have options.
That's what I just want to say. A lot of these women, you gotta have $100,000, you gotta match with what I make. It ain't about love, it's about money. You gotta match what I make. Yeah, but when that man gotta have options, when he have options, you gonna know he have options. You 8 times out of 10, you ain't gonna be on the top of that damn total.
54% of divorced women never want to remarry. That's the majority. 70% of divorces are filed by women. That number increases to 90% when the woman is college educated. These are the facts. 97% increase in divorce, in the risk of divorce, when men don't help with the housework. Women are expected to carry the loads, and they typically do. And then when she's tired, you act like she shouldn't be tired. I tell women to stop reasoning with men and stop talking to them. Show them better than you can tell them. And that's exactly what they doing, showing you better than they can tell you. 54% of them don't want to marry you no more. 90% of them who got sense and got degrees are divorcing you. And 70% of women got sense to divorce you and stay divorced. The facts will speak for themselves. The truth don't need no defense.
Now, where she
That's
was
why
wrong
they
at,
running away from black women. A lot of that right there is what that is.
no, where she was wrong at is the educated, the college degree black woman. They're less to get divorced. They stay more in their relationships. The ones with degrees, college educated, yeah. The ones that went to college a couple years and didn't get a degree or just got, but the ones that has those degrees, they're less likely to divorce.
Yeah, they're less likely to marry too. So,
No. Well, once they're married, they stay
I
married.
just saying based on my experience.
The reason is, number one, if you're dedicated to school is not an easy choice, especially when you're going after masters and doctorates. You're putting that time in, that dedication, so you know how to be dedicated, and then you're making the money. So you're not with that man for financial. So finance used to be the number one cause. It's not finance no more as the number one cause of failing marriages. As of a study in 2024, it's more being commitment, the commitment.
And you got a lot of people get married don't want to get married in the first place. That's the leading cause of divorce is marriage. And you got people getting married, they not ready for it. They don't know what it means. I got married at 23. I married 16 years. I wasn't ready at that age. You know what I'm saying? So me and my wife, we best friends now. But it just sometimes things just don't work out. And it wasn't just economic.
The bottom line is all of us can get got. The thing is you got to be able to evaluate your situation as best you can and see if you're getting what you need from the relationship. Because sometimes you can be getting 80% of what you need, and you still, in the case with my ex, she'll tell you she was still wanting the 20% too.
Let me ask you
20%.
Ask yourself, do these women have single friends? Because I think that's a problem. I think if you're a married woman, you really don't need a whole bunch of single friends. That doesn't matter. I think a lot of it is women still want to live their life. It just doesn't match up.
And this is the one who I said, let me show the college thing right quick. Now that's where it say women with college degrees tend to file divorce less often, likely due to factors later marriage, greater financial stability, and stronger marriage that are less likely to be based on financial dependency. So they have the money. So they're not with a man for money. So if he loses his job, she's fine. If she like him and he makes 60 grand a year and she makes 120, like Austin say, she's cool with that because it's not a financial thing, long as he's maintaining and doing what he do. Now she can offer him suggestions to get more money to match hers or surpass hers, but it's not a requirement because she's making her money. I'm not with you for your money. I'm with you because I want to be with you. And that's how I wish majority of our Black, most educated, own the most homes, highest paid Black women would think. Find you somebody who you like for what you like. And whether they, like long as they got a decent job making what 60,000, which most men, make anywhere from 50 to 60. So if they got a job making what the average man make, you have to add his resources in with that also. What is his resources like? You got to add his hustles in with that also.
Shoot, Amanda said you better not come in there making no 50,000.
But
Hey.
see,
But
I see
listen,
Amanda.
but that's what
I can
I
see
can only.
Amanda. I can see Amanda's. She went through that
That
whatever
one bad
happened,
relationship.
and
But
she
that's what I'm
said
Man,
saying.
that
Like,
shit.
but
She said
because
that shit
but
ain't
if you
gonna
meet
happen
a
no more.
man, single man now,
That
single,
ain't gonna happen no
by
more.
himself, single, nice crib, nice 23 vehicle paid for, and he's in the stock market. He's doing day trading. His job pay him 60 grand a year. And he when he steps out the house, he look like a damn fucking $1 million. You wouldn't know his bank account until you talk to him.
And he got
Then
no
what?
kids.
And I've never met a female where I have to sit at a damn table. Well, yeah, I make 110,000 a year. I've been there for 10 years, and I ain't never had to do that.
He did make you do it.
But money does matter though, because like I personally was with someone that I liked, but I think a lot of men y'all get things misunderstood, because as a woman evolves, the things that we want in life changes. So if I'm evolving and I'm growing, and I'm, whether it be my finances or with anything, and you're staying stagnant, you're no longer aligned with the things that I want to do. What I wanted when I was making 40K versus what I want now is different. And that's just because I've elevated my mindset.
Right. And
so like, why can't you can be with someone you like all day, but if they're not growing with you, a lot of friction starts happening.
right. And see, that's extra what you added, if they're not growing. And that's why I say the motivation, they have to have ambition. So I'm still agreeing. We still speak the same language here.
So what if they've met their ceiling at where they are?
That ain't gonna work for her. She just told you
She's
that.
not willing
I know, but
to
I'm saying,
offer them
what if
other avenues to elevate with her.
No. Now that's one thing Amanda has done, and I have seen it. She has put people in a position to be better. Now I don't know if that person wanted to do better or took those things that she put in place for them.
Right. And keep in mind, Amanda chooses her words very carefully as I'm listening to her. She said the big word if. People don't understand how big the little word if is. She said if they're stagnant. So that leaves room for her to offer opportunities for them to grow with her.
Right. Like you can grow with me, but if you're
Right.
stagnant,
But if they I don't want to do that. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make my little 50 grand and I'm straight. I'm gonna make my 45, my 60 grand, and I'm straight. You can go ahead and make that 200 grand, but long as I'm making this and I'm paying the electric and I'm paying the water and I got the car note, we good.
That ain't
gonna because these days most men want a partner that matches them. I heard what y'all saying about y'all specifically are different men. Y'all are saying that y'all don't mind a woman who don't have nothing, but in the dating world, because I'm in it, most men want a woman that's going to match them, or at least kind of vibrate on the same financial frequency a little bit, because it's expensive these days. Everything costs.
I mean, that's cool, but I always been independent and I strive on taking care of myself. So I really don't require that. I'm going to find the house I want. I'm going to do what it takes to get it. I'm going to see the vehicle I want. I'm going to do it what I take to get it. And if I have a woman in my life, it doesn't matter because I'm good. I love me and I'm going to take care of me.
That's the type of man that a lot of women do look for, your specific type. But a lot of men are not like that these days.
Wow.
It's hard. A lot of men are strict. They got standards. It's a lot.
Yeah, I have standards. You can't be no hoe. But as far as college degrees and 100 figures and your body count can't be way up there. It can't be higher than mine. Shit, your body count can't be higher than mine.
What body count got to do with it, D?
Hey, it can't be higher than mine. I don't want no hoe, man. I don't want to. Look, and you already know I'm a DJ promoter. I'm out there, so
Oh,
I
man.
can't have nobody on my arm that everybody in the club has slept with. I can't do it, and I ain't gonna do it. And if I do meet somebody and I see that, we done the next day.
All you gotta do is move to another state.
Oh
dude.
no, I ain't
I
doing
know.
that.
What if she's a reformed hoe? What if she don't hoe no more? And she's a wife. A good woman, take care of your kids. Yeah.
Nah, if I know, I don't believe in that. She don't want to be a freak no more.
We
She don't
can
want to be no freak no
lie
more.
just like y'all can lie about the body count. You know.
Yeah, but no, I say if you know,
the fact
if
that
you know,
somebody
and I
being
bet
honest
you,
with you,
Manda,
you
Austin,
supposed to
everybody
listen
knows
and don't
a
judge.
neighborhood hoe that
So let me ask,
everybody done
let me
slept
ask,
with. That they
let
done
me
put
ask
their
you this
brother
question.
on when their cousin come to town. Oh yeah, I know who you need to talk
Let
to.
me ask you this
Y'all got
question,
best
D.
friends like that. So
I got the perfect
cap,
question for you, D,
stop
on
capping.
body count. Let me ask you. I asked my brothers this same thing because he big on body count. So let me ask you, what if your girl, say your girl 50, right? And she slept with 30 people by the time she's 50, and she's only slept with each one time, one year. She slept with one, she had sex once a year with 30 different people. And her body count is 30.
That ain't really bad in today's time.
I don't know. That's a little high for me.
I mean,
My
it's high, but I'm just saying, realistically
So
speaking,
she's had sex 30 times in 50 years, and that's a large that's a large body count
to me, because
that's
I'm judging
25.
by my count though. This thing you
Okay.
gotta look at.
All right. So let me ask this question. So if she done had 7 men, but she's been screwed over 300 times, is that better?
7 men, 300 times. Yeah, that's better because
Yeah,
it's
it
less
is.
men. It's the
Yeah, 'cause
fewer
you said
men,
consistent.
the more that women screw with different guys, the body count, the pair bonding, all of that matters. So if she just has 7 guys and he screwed her every which way but right, you know, and it's just been 7 guys, that's still 7 guys. That body count is still 7.
Yeah, but she might have been dogged out through them 7 guys.
It's just 7 though.
Versus
It's
if she slept with one dude
the cat. The one thing about a cat, it snap back.
yeah.
So you ain't gonna miss that.
So if
Oh
that's
I
shit!
don't know.
if
Oh,
I'm
that's
saying
fine.
some look.
I
I'm
might need
saying
to.
some look
I
like they've
might
been
need
run
to
over.
send that to Drake.
so if that's the case, then body count don't really matter.
Body count matter when you're looking at pair bonding. If it's a hoe out there and she been screwing everybody and she able to fuck with no feelings, the chances of her actually having true and real feelings for you is gonna be slim to none, homie. Google the shit.
Okay, well, what if
I done slept with women with high body count numbers and women with low body count numbers, and I've been able
It
to
just depends on
determine.
the broad.
And I've been determined some of the ones that's supposed to be so good ain't about shit.
Right. People
And
is
the
I think
ones
we
You
talked.
say that 80% of divorces are initiated by the woman. So what can men do about this and why is it?
Nothing.
So there's nothing that men can do.
Good luck. Because the issue is you're fighting against a system that's not really for you. The problem we have is if a girl sleeps with more than 5 people, her chance of being in a happy relationship is roughly 20%. Now, the issue is you're now marrying women that have a 20% chance of having a happy marriage. And that's the quote unquote good women, right?
So why is that though? That 20%? Is that because they're thinking about the other partners that they've had and they're not quite sure if the one they've settled with is the best choice?
I would argue it's the psychology of choice. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I would argue that women, it's like we have more sexual agency in our early 20s, so it's hard to like do better. Some women do. I've seen women do it, but
is it different
and women,
if
it's kind of like women can't go down in lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's 5 relationships versus maybe 4 one-night stands and 1 relationship, does that make any difference, or is it just the amount of people that they've slept with?
The studies just base it on sexual partners. So think about this. That's an 80% chance of failure.
You know, the one thing we have not brought up is that as a person that's been through divorce is that a lot of women still think that they're favored when they file for divorce, like they gonna get the house and they go get the kids. And I think that makes a lot of women real quick to file for divorce because they figure, well, I'm getting everything. What I learned, that ain't true anymore. Now you see more men get joint or full custody of their kids because that's what makes it easy for so many women to file for divorce. They like, oh, I'm gonna get the house, I'm gonna get child support, I'm gonna get this, and they're starting to
But I'm
change.
saying, why do y'all have to be with women that's about all that? I'm thinking it's the choices that people are making before they get in relationships.
It is.
You supposed to know who that person is. You know, I know shit happens, and I know everybody have their best suit on when they meet. But on the same note, somewhere down that line, you seen that character before you put that money in that wedding and walk down that aisle and said that I do shit.
Here it is. Here it is.
And often they ignore it and go ahead and marry.
Right, that's what I was about to say. You see that because you see that, and you go ahead and marry them because you feel like you can tame whatever that situation is. You can.
If I can't tame it while dating, I'm damn so not gonna walk down no aisle.
That love is so strong that you can get through that. What you'll find out is that ain't got nothing to do with it.
And most of the time, it's not even built on love.
That
and women
turn sour real quick.
Yeah. So ladies, stop having sex and just suck dicks.
That's what the white girls do. That's what the white girls been doing. That cat down there be fresh. They have a blow out mouth.
I have a question.
Real nigga shit. I used to talk to white girls. That's their thing. They'll suck on you in a minute.
Crazy.
But they got a fresh cat. Everybody wasn't banging that cat.
Like, I hate how proudly, especially men in this manosphere, throw that, oh, women get divorced at an 80% clip stat out. Because it's not factual. Because if you delve deep into that, yes, the women are filing for the divorce. But there's plenty of men, just like Kenny, that's like, I've been wanting to get out of this situation, but I love her. And I care about her. And I care about the effect that this is going to have if I come in here and sit you down and say, look, I don't want to be with you no more. I want to see you do well. And I know that if you initiate this breakup, you're going to leave this more empowered than if I was to come to you and say, I don't want to be with you no more, and I pack all my shit up and dip. You're going to be crushed. You're going to be like reduced to damn near nothing before you have to build yourself back up. But if you able to walk out of here and say, look, I built up the courage. I'm the one ended it. I'm the one did that. Men are perfectly good with that. Matter of fact, men want it that way.
I think you kind of do us a favor when you do that.
Yeah, because this is the difference too. I feel like men, we get comfortable in relationships a lot of times.
Yep.
And we understand if it's somebody you like, somebody who you want to be with, someone who you feel a connection with, feel like you equally yoked, y'all have that chemistry. And you've been with people who you with and you don't feel shit. And you've also been with that person that when you get near them, you feel that little warmth. And then when y'all kiss, the feeling right here, that's that chemistry. Okay. So if you find somebody that's that chemistry and y'all just go down the aisle and say that I do shit. Okay. So y'all married. A man feel like we just going through marriage shit. We just going through a rough patch. But if that woman didn't marry you because she wanted to be with you, or she's your friend, or she cares about you and she really genuinely love you, when times get hard, she out of here.
Yep.
Let me ask a question to AJ and Amanda. Do you feel that women get married based on love or based on necessity? For I shouldn't say necessity, but
finance.
Stability.
Let's go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
a little bit of both.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little bit of both. Me personally, I gear a little bit more towards the stability aspect, but it's a good mix. Maybe it's like 60% stability, 40% love.
Oh wow.
Personally, yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's real. That's real. I mean, go ahead, AJ. Let's hear your version. Let's hear your answer.
Well, I just feel like, we do need stability. That's like part is top of the thing. But don't get me wrong, I'm a hopeless romantic, so I do want that sweep me off my feet and you know, I want
I mean,
ice.
on the
I
cool,
want that.
I feel Mandy, because as a man of my standards, I agree. I believe in being a provider. So with her saying the 60-40 thing,
I can see why she
I
come
feel
that
that.
way too. I
Yeah,
understand that too.
I like her. I like her ratio.
Thank y'all for
60-40.
agreeing. I thought y'all was gonna bash me.
No. That's cool. The providers, which is everyone on here. Well, I don't know about George. His ass go. But the providers, the ones who don't mind providing. See, George had a very, very bad marriage and terrible experience. So he's
Yeah, he's coming
rebuilding
from a
himself
place of
mentally.
pain.
Yeah, he's trying to come back. But the providers that's on here, they like that 60-40, man. You hitting it, because that's what a man really wants. Someone who, just like the song Neo, Miss Independent, someone who wants him because they want to be with him, not because they need him. So that 60-40, I feel that. So I'm still able to be my provider, be my man, that I am. But I don't have to come if I didn't want to. I didn't have to come with the 100%, even though I have it and I'm going to want to do it. But the fact that if I didn't do it, you good with that. You get what I'm saying? If I do it, but something happened and I can't do it this month or 2 months up the road due to health issues or workman's comp or whatever, it don't run you off. So I can deal with that 60-40. I like that right there.
But I
I
think
mean, because a
that
lot of
that
people
that
forget that marriage is a contract. We could be together all day without being married and be broken, happy in love. But if I'm committing to you in a marriage, I mean, that's a business. I need.
I don't like the business marriages. But check this out. Check this one out, and I'm gonna say what I say about her.
Do you
Peep
know
this
why
one.
women are filing for divorce so much more than men right now? Because they're tired. They are tired of doing it all. And I mean everything. Going to work, taking care of the kids, parent-teacher conferences, doctor's appointments, everything, you name it, they're doing it, and they don't have the help. Why would a woman want to stay married to somebody who is doing the bare minimum? Not getting the kids together, not taking them to school, not going to parent-teacher conferences, not doing the laundry, not cooking, not doing anything. Why? Because if they can do it on their own, they don't need another child to raise. They can still do it on their own.
I mean,
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
she's right. I mean, why be in a marriage and you doing all the duties of a single mom?
Because you married for a condition. That's a contract. That's something that's gonna come together. You guys got to sit and figure out who gonna do what. So if your job or your duty in that relationship is to pick the kids up, you work their homework. His duty is to make the money, make sure that it's gas in the car, make sure the mechanic look at the car, make sure the electric and the roof is over the house, and you doing whatever is whatever you guys decide. You just can't stay you tired. There's no such thing as tired in a genuine marriage if that's something you want to be in, because you signed up to do that duty. If you're tired, then that wasn't your thing. You're not marriage material.
Yeah,
Well,
But a
what
lot
because
of
she
people
was
don't
saying
know
was
that.
she was doing duties, all the duties of
Yeah.
XYZ.
That
Those,
that
like,
sounds like a communication problem to me.
but then where you put it, you saying there are gender roles being confused. Like
I
the
didn't say,
man
I
has
never
his
mentioned the
role.
word gender roles, but if that's what we agreed for you to do,
Okay.
I'm a very structured person. In my
Okay.
relationship, we know what everybody do, and mine is comfortable. She was raised by a grandma, so as far as gender roles, we have no problem with that. Sometimes I cook, she cook majority of the time. She get the
Right.
kids. When she not able to get the kids, I get the kids. We do whatever we need
You
to do.
work
But
it
her thing
out.
is cooking. She gets in the kitchen and that's her thing, making gourmet stuff like stuffed crust chicken that we would normally pay $80 at Ruth Chris or $100 at Ruth Chris. She make it at home.
But see,
So
here's the difference, though, DC. You're not opposed to not doing some things. See, you willing whatever need to be done. See, my son's sort of like that, the one in Arkansas. So he's got kids that's both of them in band. They also one of them play soccer, one of them play basketball. They both of them take piano lessons and they take swimming lessons. So both parents got a full plate. Now he's able to work from home 3 days a week, and he go to the office 2 days a week. And his wife, she works from home all 5 days, but now with this new Trump administration, she's got to start driving to Fayetteville. Hey, baby. So, but Courtney, he's able to, meet most of those because he can work. He work from like he can be working while he dropping the kids off. He's still at work. See, he has that type of, and he don't mind because
right.
They got the type of relation, and he do most of the cooking simply because he's just a better cook.
Right.
And
yeah,
so,
but if a woman sitting around saying she's tired, that's a poor ass excuse to get out of a relationship. Well, I'm making money and I'm doing everything by myself, so ain't no sense in me being in a marriage. So did you get in a marriage for help?
No, that's because
was that marriage based on conditions?
Yeah, she wasn't committed to that marriage.
Yeah.
Amanda, let me ask you a question. So in the dating pool today, are you a gap age dater or do you date at your age level?
Well, right now it's a gap age. Yeah.
I hope it. I mean, younger or older.
Oh, older for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. But I was wondering because for the criteria and the qualifications you looking for, he gonna have to be a little seasoned. You know what I'm saying? Little salt pepper on there. You know. What about you, AJ? Because you want to get back. You didn't dip in the dating pool out there today. You like them?
No,
your age.
I am over the younger phase, so yeah, I would do my age or older.
Now, to back that question, why?
Why? Because I just feel like it's somebody younger than me. Here's what I. Okay, let me be all transparent.
Let's be true. We transparent
if
on
I'm
here,
be with somebody younger than me, then it's just jumping off. We just jumping off. And that's basically all we gonna do because we more than likely are not on the same page, mentally or a lot of things. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some younger men that are mature for their age, but still, I will look at it like, baby, I ain't finna hold you up. You got a whole lot more living to do. And I'm on something else right now, and we through with what we was doing. So I'm gonna let you do you.
And he gonna be fine with that because he didn't hit it.
Well,
and
he can't do
tell
nothing
all the
but
boys I hit this cougar, and I had that cougar climbing the wall.
I'm not trying to be I ain't a cougar. I'm more like a panther. But the thing about it is I'm not going to I'm not seeking somebody younger than me. I'm not looking to be a sugar mama.
Oh shit. Okay, so you just do it every now and then for cheap thrills, right? Okay, Mandy. Hold on. Let me hear why Mandy.
You know, dang full well I've been celibate for 5 years. I'm just saying, when I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, oh yeah, I met for younger men. But as I matured and wanted and life changed, I wanted somebody a little bit more on my level.
You got tired of them. You got tired of them 2 minute quickies. But okay, Mandy, why you choose more seasoned than the 25, 30-year-olds that want you to buy them a PS5 and the latest Madden game and the brand new Jordans when they come out?
Exactly that. But on a personal note, like AJ did personally, I've come to realize that I like to be led. I like a providing man, and it's not even
What?
about finances when it comes to providing. It's just like, can you teach me something? And then also,
I agree.
like, can we talk about things that both make sense to both of us? And a lot of men my age or younger, they haven't even reached that level of mental awareness or like
Capacity.
life experiences for them to even really
Yeah.
vibe with me. And then on top of that, I'm somebody, I feel like I know a lot. So it's
Mandy,
like
you, hey
I need
Mandy,
somebody
you
that's gonna
talking
teach
some,
me
Mandy, you
something.
talking some real stuff now.
Yes, she is.
I'm
I
saying
think
I need
Mandy
somebody
Because
that's
Mandy
gonna
just
teach me
studied us
something.
on this panel, and she's saying
I
what she
done
know
been
we
through some
want to hear.
things. No, I done been through some things, y'all, James. That's
yeah,
all.
see, she done held a couple of bombs down. She's like,
Dude,
look, she done
I'm
already
like
said, look,
sitting here listening, and the
I ain't
things that
doing
coming
that
out
shit
her
no
mouth,
more.
I wasn't expecting to hear.
I ain't
I'm
doing
like,
that shit no
damn,
more. That's out. You can get your loser ass on away from here with your little change,
Yeah,
nigga.
an
And you
older
probably gonna
man.
lose that. Hey, she already banking. You probably
Yeah,
gonna
an
lose
older
that
man.
job. Then your ass
He
ain't
just
got
do more.
zero.
And what AJ said, not to be all like quick pumper, but they know what they're doing more too.
But
It's just better.
man, I'm finna. You gonna agree me with this? Most guys that's making 60,000, anywhere from 40 to 80 and down, he just got a job. He ain't got no career path anyway.
Exactly. Exactly.
Cause see, you need a career path. Like D, you got a specialty. So you a DJ, and so not only that, you know how to supplement your income. So you independent. See, so you what you doing didn't require you to get a degree. See,
but I
so
have one.
right, but it didn't require. It's
It
not
was not. It's not
required.
required, right?
Right. So you. That's why I've been telling you, you're an exception to the rule. See, so I didn't never have nothing but a job because I didn't finish my education, but I was able
Okay.
to work hard and do the right thing with the money that I made. See, so I taught my kids the key is to get that education, and
Right.
now all my kids, just about all my kids, are college grads.
And
They
like
have
when I met Kurt, I was building computers and laptops.
right,
So, and that was through my degree. And
right,
and I made my first 100 grand back in 2010. So making six figures, I've been doing that all my life, doing what I do, what I like to do. And on top of that, I also got a good paying job.
right.
So I do what I do. So
Well, you can just network and make 100 grand, D.
easy. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing. When I touched that in 2010, it was nothing. And after that, it just come. That's nothing. You know. So finance, like they say, I agree with them saying they want a man. That 60-40 got me though. I'm probably gonna think about that for shit a week or two.
But
But
Mandy, my
that's
hope
a
for you is
perfect
that is
ratio
that
because a man able to be a man without being a simp, stepping in there wanting to pay everything. At
my
least she when they set that 60-40, even though bringing something to the table is not required, it's just nice to know you have that cushion. You know, it's nice to know you have it. So, and then the helpless, hopeless romantic. Now I had to learn that. That was my problem because I never dated all up till now a woman that required that. We would go to the malls or we would go to the fair and she walking, minding her business. I'm walking, minding mine. We wasn't holding no hands, wasn't no hugging. But two, I had other women also, so I made sure I wasn't looking too lovey-dovey with one. But they didn't require that at the same time. And so when I met somebody who was into that, why can't you be sensitive and want to hold hands and lay on your shoulder while you walking? I just be looking like, so I had to make myself become real boyfriend and husband material because that wasn't me. And so when I saw that was required, I couldn't play that role like, oh yeah, that was my cousin. Oh yeah, that was a friend girl of mine because she laying on my damn arm when I'm walking in public now.
well, you
So I
just
had to,
matured. You just matured for something that was bigger than
Then I wasn't right, and I wasn't ready for. I wasn't used to it.
It was just bigger than numbers, man. Just out there doing the numbers thing. But Mandy, I hope, my hope for you, and I don't know you, but my hope for you is that I don't know your age or whatever, but black women, man, it's challenging for y'all right now. It's ugly out there, man. And that I hope that y'all don't wind up, by yourself.
But on the cool, I think she gonna be okay because though she have her standards, she ain't stupid either. She
Yeah,
knows if she meets somebody and she actually see the potential, she gives them. She actually left room open to give them a chance.
Man, is it
To
tough
see.
out there? Man, is it tough out there?
In the dating world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me personally, I have to be honest and say no. But that's me. It hasn't been hard. I've met some really nice gentlemen. I've been fortunate.
Okay.
Well, hey, you keep an eye on them because everybody a gentleman for the first 2 months. Hold on. Let me play this one.
So when I had my
y'all.
consultation with the divorce lawyer, she asked me, why are you doing this? Why are you looking to get a divorce? What's your reasoning for this? And I knew she was going to ask me that question before the meeting. And so I had all of my reasons ready to go, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing that came out of my mouth was, I'm tired. It's funny because I was a little embarrassed because it seemed kind of a simplistic answer. But after the call, when I thought about it some more, I realized that is really the truth. And I think it's the truth for so many women. We are just tired. Tired of not being valued, tired of not being seen, tired of being taken for granted, just tired of being unloved, disrespected. There is truly only so much a person can take. And I take full responsibility for the fact that I stayed in it as long as I did. I accepted things I never should have accepted. I take full responsibility that I didn't do my inner work to stand up and say enough years ago. But now I am. Now I am standing up and saying enough. I'm tired of this. And I'm saying it with the knowledge, finally, and the acceptance that it's never going to change. And it's not my responsibility to change it. There's nothing that I can do. I can't love more. I can't sacrifice more. I can't give more. There's nothing that I personally can do to make this situation better. All I can do is make myself, my life better. And that's why I'm doing this. That's the real reason. I kind of wish I would have said that to her because it sounds a lot more eloquent and passionate. But I think saying that you're tired, I think that's enough.
Okay, now her reason, AJ, her reason for being tired, I buy that. I buy her reason for being tired. Too. Yeah. Now the first one, because she didn't want to go get the kids. Those your kids, because she don't want to come home and do this and that and that. I get that to a degree, but that's lack of communication. But for her saying that guy don't pay her no mind, he's not showing her no affection. He don't look at her. Get out of that shit. And she was wrong for staying in it that long. So I agree with that. That's the tire that I agree with. That other one being tired because she got to take care of the household and she ain't saying nothing to him, but she getting up every day, she getting them kids, she come home, she cooking. If it's a problem, you need to tell him, hey, well, Donald, every now and then you can cook. Every now and then you're not doing nothing. Can you go get the kids? But sometimes men be thinking that that's what you want to do. That's your peace of mind time sitting in the line waiting on the kids sometimes. So I agree with that one. If a man treat you like that, because most men check out of relationships too. And the women filed for divorce, but that man that checked out a long time ago, he just ain't took the initiative to go up and say, I want a divorce a lot of times. And he been wanting to be over. But that man, they not quick to want to start over. when he didn't invested his time, emotion, whatever, we just feel like it's gonna get better later. We got a problem now to get better later.
But a lot of men did, and believe it or not, a lot of men don't want to see the ex smashing with somebody else, man. They can't stand that shit.
And that's why they stay in the relationship?
Yep. I'm telling you, man, they rather, hey, she mine, especially if he got her young. They don't want, and he got her, in his mind, he got her trained the way he want her. He don't want to let go. He didn't invest.
So they would put up with hating to come home, wanting to sit out there in the car for 2 hours before they go in the house, than to just say this ain't working.
A lot of men do that shit.
Damn.
But see, but women do that. Men do it more, but women do it too, because that's honestly what I did. I mean, it was a situation to where I was checked out and unhappy for almost a whole year, but I wasn't willing to just give it all up. So I mean, same thing can be said for women. Like women, we do be leaving men alone, but we don't just up and decide one day to leave. It's like
was it the start over?
It was it's a start over, but it's also like you done put in all this work on this man.
Okay.
And then now another woman's gonna reap the benefits of what you put in.
She's gonna reap the benefits of a
She gonna reap the benefits.
Cause see, he gonna go be better for somebody else.
He gonna go be better for someone else.
That's what happened to me. Kurt, you know that's what happened to me.
Hell yeah,
I wasn't shit.
Now
I wasn't shit.
Now you finna say I get it.
Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah. That's why women stay, because women do that. Women will check out too, but we stay because it's like I done put in all this work.
Well, you kind of rare, because majority of the women I know, especially now social media age, they feel like they have options, and so they're not going to stay. But you seem like you a genuine person, and if you give somebody time, your time, you're gonna make this time.
But see, her lifestyle is elevated too, though, D.
But I'm going by what she's saying from the beginning. She said even at 40,000 to 80,000, her lifestyle is different. But I'm just looking at her as a person.
Right.
She seems like if she give you the time of day, she thought long and hard about it, and she's gonna put in her 100 to make it work.
Yeah, if I date you, I'm in it for the long run.
See?
But at the same time, it's like, you know, you can't just be out here doing anything. But no, a lot of women, like you said, a lot of women are like they like microwaves. Like, okay, I'm gonna just go find another man. But most women, it goes back to knowing the kind of woman you date. Most women, we want what we want. We want a man that's going to provide. We want all these things, but that's also because we also know ourselves. I'm not going to just up and leave you, but you're going to have to come with something.
And we're going to stick with you. We don't just up and leave without reason.
Right.
It takes a lot to get a woman fed up.
Because it's harder for us to find a partner than it is for
a decent
dude.
partner.
Hold up, time out. I think she even watched something. Austin has sent us some of my rants because she's saying all the shit I say.
No,
I told y'all it's harder for a woman to find a good man than it is for a man to find a good woman.
That's what
it really is. So that's why I'm saying
you're the first woman that ever said that. They disagree with me every time I say this on a podcast.
I believe it, but that's why it's like, because if I leave you, you would have had, that means you done some crazy shit. A lot of women don't just up and leave just because, like, it's like we leave because we're deeply unhappy. You ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude.
Yeah, we done put up with your shit, and we through. That's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now that last little thing you used to, that last little piece of glue you used to have to hold me, that shit done wore off.
And that's why I say I don't double back on relationships, because if I left you,
I'm gonna get rid of her. She say all the stuff I said. I said that last week, didn't I, AJ? I don't go back. Once it's done, it's over.
I don't do that because if me,
I know why I left.
I'm a stick through anything. I mean anything. If I leave you, oh no, baby, it's done.
See what I'm saying, KB? I told you I ain't going back.
Hey, my ex, I told you when my ex tried to come back, man, she put on an Academy Award winning.
AJ witnessed it last week.
And
I ain't
I'm
taking
telling
it
you,
back.
man, I told her, I said, listen, I said, I promise you I still love you. I said, but the dude you looking for, that motherfucker been gone.
Facts,
He ain't here,
facts.
he ain't here no
All love.
more.
You a good person. You a good dude, but you
Yeah.
can't fuck with me. Sorry.
He ain't here no more.
I don't
He
want you no
gone. I
more.
promise you. Because you're gonna be looking for him and he gonna be way different than what you used to. Cause
Exactly.
I can't trust what you say no more, see? Cause
Yeah.
if cause if cause if you sold me, if I was so sold on what you told me, and then you tell me something different, how am I know the difference now? I can't decipher, and if I'm emotionally involved, I can't decipher the truth from the lie. And I can't live like that, bro.
Mm-mm.
If I can't catch that lie, it ain't no way I'm gonna make a decision in your favor. Oh hell no,
And
you go ahead
the
on.
fact that if I know you legitimately just sitting there bold faced trying to lie to me, and I know you lying, that I can't be with you. Now that's one of them. I'm one of those people that when I do get involved, I'm involved. But I keep an ice box where my heart used to be. So that Amari Young song, that's me. And when I do let someone in, any little thing you can do could make me go back in my shell because I grew up at like 18, 19 years old. I had old cats that was in their 50s telling me at 19, 18 years old, breaking down how women are,
But let
how
me
low
say this
down they
what I
are, how
know. Let
sneaky
me
they
say
are.
this what I know about you though.
And they mess my head up.
Let me say this what I know about this dude right here. So I remember when I first started burning CDs, and I was trying to get in the business of burning CDs, and they said, "Hey, you got to know you need to catch up with this dude. His name DJ. He could get you some music. His name DJ Black." So man, I must have been trying to get in touch with this dude. I must have called this dude so many times, whatever, man. And he was like, "Ah, yeah. I hook up with you." And it took months before he finally hooked up, and then he saw I was cool people, and we became just like that. But he's not the type of person that just lets you in. He hey, and you can be 100, but he just
I don't trust people. I have real bad trust issues.
yeah.
Period. And so that's what ruined a lot of my early relationships. Listen to them old men, my trust issues, my past from college and messing with uh, women, living with people, wives. I was out there. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, when you
so
sleep with a married woman, man, you find out a lot of different
and
shit, bro.
it's hard because you like if I do this, will this happen to me? You know what I'm saying? Because if you believe in karma, you waiting on that karma. But I feel like I've dated karma leading up to what I'm in. But
But you
but
look
yeah,
at how they be treating that dude, man. And they're that dude might be out there grinding. He might be working at the mill. He might be working his ass off, and he might be bringing his paper home, but he ain't hitting it. You know what I'm saying? He ignoring her, and she lonely, and she done told him months and months and months down the line, hey, I want to do so and so and so and so, and he ignoring her. So
yeah,
finally, she couldn't deal with it no more, and she stepped out. But
yeah,
then she feeding you all this information, and you sitting by looking at her, man. I never choose her as to be mine.
yeah. And
But
that's
you
another
hit,
thing y'all women don't understand, AJ. This is what I wanted to say too. When women out there messing around and doing their thing, y'all and that man know that you messing with. He know you got a man that's working, going out his way to try to keep a roof over your head, the car running, the lights on,
he
and you
already
out
weighing
there
in on you.
messing around with a nigga that can't rub two nickels together. You think that guy gonna want you? When
He
he mess
already
your
weighing in
relationship
on
up,
you.
he ain't gonna want you because he gonna feel like you gonna mess over him. Because
And
all the
then
women that
I
I
would
used to
I
mess
wouldn't
with
want to be
behind their husband's back that thought we was gonna be in a relationship, hell no. What we can do,
right because
you
you the
keep
cheater.
him,
I'm not. You the
you
one
keep
cheating.
him,
I don't believe in it.
you keep
I don't
him,
believe in it.
and me and you gonna mess over him. That was my mentality. I don't want no relationship with you. You still stay with him. Me and you see each other, and we mess over him. Now we gonna
When
we
my
gonna be
husband
together
is
like we go
working
together. We
from,
gonna hang out. We gonna go out to eat. We gonna do the movies. We gonna do out. We going shopping, and we gonna do all that. But
I
you
don't
stay
do
with
none
him
of that shit,
because I
dude.
ain't gonna get myself tied in emotionally with you. You stay with him, and me and you fuck over him, not me.
That's nasty.
We don't do none of that. I didn't do none of that shit. That shopping and
Oh yeah,
movies and all of
none
that
of,
shit.
they were my girlfriends.
If
Not
my
mine.
husband is worth his salt, I'm not going to cheat on him. Especially with somebody who can't top my husband.
Shit,
If I'm
you
gonna,
better
you got
tell her,
to
Kurt.
come better.
That's what they do. Cause y'all bored because he at work 24/7. I had a guy on here right now that's working on that come on
Baby,
this
I'm gonna
stay
go
on this
get me a
podcast.
hobby. I'm gonna go take
He
me a
worked
salt
on the
bath. I'm gonna go
pipeline.
make some candles.
He on the pipeline. He make over $100 grand a year, and he's stacking his paper so
And
him
his
and his
old lady
woman and
getting
the kids
smashed.
can go shopping.
I'm gonna
You know that
find me
woman
a
can
hobby.
go on vacation. That woman was screwing 3 different guys while this dude was away on the pipeline.
That she's trash.
He got sick on that pipeline and came home, and he was gonna surprise his wife and found out another man was sleeping in his bed, bro.
She was getting ran through.
She was getting
She's
ran through.
trash.
Ain't no telling how long that guy was drilling.
But see, a grown woman ain't gonna do that if she know what
She was
got. She
grown.
values what
She
she
was
got.
grown.
Mature age doesn't define maturity. Okay, it's a lot of people with a
Man, when a
grown
woman,
body.
when a lot of women bored, y'all have idle time
We
on your
find a
hands.
hobby, babe. A real woman gonna go
Lord,
in the garden. She gonna go make
this is
some
to keep it
candles. She
real
gonna go to
transparent. We don't
start
have
her
to wear no
business.
mask on this show, baby. We tell it like it is.
I'm telling you real up where I am right here now at this point in my life. I'm not down for that. I'm not gonna do what they say. Look for the 20%, and you got 80% at home. I'm not gonna do
At this point in your life. But
Yeah,
10
a
years
30-year-old
ago, you
woman
would have
ain't
fucked
finna
over
sit
that
at
hard
home
working
settling.
man.
A 30-year-old woman
No,
ain't finna
10
sit
years
at
ago,
home.
I probably would have had a younger dude. Next.
That you would have been taken care of then. You would have about
Now, I ain't take
the
care of.
PS5.
I can't take care of. I would take care of me in there. Who does that? Where they do that at?
Shit, if he coming with that good wood.
Baby. I done been celibate for 5 years. Wood is not an issue.
That's because you ain't
Not a
had no
factor.
good wood. I would have been celibate too if
not
I
a
wouldn't
factor.
get no. You ain't
It's
had no
not a
good
factor.
wood in a minute. So you ain't the last wood you had was trash. And
It's
that's why
not
you
a
able to go
factor.
sell because you remember the last wood you had. It was trash.
It's not a factor.
Okay.
It's just not a factor.
Man, I thought we were transparent. This is a transparent podcast. All right, AJ. Does sex matter, AJ? We know about your
sex does matter.
Your standards.
Of course it matters.
Is good sex a top 10 priority in a good relationship?
It's 10. It's number 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's number 10.
And people get mad when I say that. You got to be coming with some good sex.
Yeah.
Because
and I got to like you. Like
sexual...
looking at you. You got to have that physical attraction that make me want to jump your bones. But even though I'm not gonna jump your bones,
send her some of the clips, bro. Because you saw on that other one, me and George were going back and forth. He want a woman with a damn college degree. I said, I have to have that physical attraction first. I can send her ass to school. I get a job, just like the Ravens can find out. I got resources to get anybody a good job that's paying $80,000 a year. I got that right now.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And it comes with incentives and promotion. You'll be promoted within 6 months if you do good. You there for a whole year, you get another raise. So I don't need that. So I was explaining to George, it has to be a physical attraction for me. I can't just say, let me see what her intellect like. I ain't fucked about intellect. I'm
physical
intellectual
attraction
enough.
is number 9 on that list. If I had to make a list, sex will be 10, physical attraction will be 9. I value more things like what kind of man he is, what kind of integrity he got.
There you go.
What kind of character? A man is only worth the value of his word. And if I can't trust you and I can't trust your word, we gonna have a real problem. Because I'm frank and brutally honest, and I want somebody to do the same for me. So I can't. I won't sit up and say that
a lot of women commit adultery or cheat from long-term relationships, like the topic was last week, because they're not satisfied sexually. A lot of men are not satisfying these women sexually, and that contributes to the divorce rate as well.
It does. Now, like I said, in my former life, I have dated, had sex, been with a married man. You know, so I understand that dynamic. But
ooh, AJ. So since you said that, because karma was brought up a couple minutes ago, do you feel like you got karma back because you was with a married man?
yes, I have gotten my karma
Hey,
back. I have been cheated
I
with,
see another
and I've
topic.
been cheated on. You
That's
know,
probably
but
gonna
I'd
be
rather
next
be
week.
cheated
Have you
with
ever
than
messed
cheated
with a
on.
married
I've
person?
been on both sides of that coin. I'd rather be cheated with than cheated on.
Oh wow.
So you ever been with a married man, Manda?
I ain't been with no married man, but I was, without my knowledge, with a man with a girl, but I didn't know. But when I found out, I stopped talking to him.
Okay, let me ask you this. You say you didn't know,
I've
and
done that too.
he was living with a woman?
No, he was living with her. I just didn't know.
How you he didn't never invite you over?
Listen, I was younger.
Oh.
Yeah, cause see, like now we know
I was
that
younger.
he don't invite you over. You don't talk to him during certain hours of the day or on the weekend.
But I was
We
younger.
know all those red flags now,
But I didn't
and we
think
ain't got time for it.
But see, my thing was because of who I am and how I moved in the city and the surrounding areas, I was always transparent with mine. Yeah, I got somebody. You know, we ain't the greatest right now. I don't know how long we're gonna be together. Whoop whoop yada yada. So you just take the chance. You know what I'm saying? I'll holler at you when I get a break. You know what I'm saying? I'll text you. And they just went by the rules. You know the rules, you know your position, you know your part.
Hey,
I believe that I accepted that position because I'm afraid of commitment. I accepted to be in that position, to be second, right? To be somebody's call me when you want to,
I
right?
ain't afraid of nothing.
Because I was afraid of committing. It's easier for me to be with her man than to be with my man.
See,
You know
that's kind of like what I was saying. We gonna mess over him. So you understood that I don't want to be emotionally involved with you. You stay with him, me and you fuck over him.
Right. You fuck over her and let her, take care of us.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
That's why I'm
I gotta hop off room. Hey, it was great talking to y'all. I got to go pick my son up from work, man.
All right, that'll work. I'm gonna play a couple videos. We're gonna wind it down in about 30 minutes.
Hey, holler at me on Friday, D.
You know how we do it.
Yep.
Holla.
Good night, y'all. It was nice talking to y'all.
Good night.
Here we go, y'all.
Why do women file for divorce more than men do? I think it's in large part because men don't confront the situation. They disengage. So, you're going to work every day, you're coming home, there's no sex life, there's no intimacy, there's no contact with your wife. She maybe is doing all of the taking care of the kids and all the stuff around the house. And, you're just living your little life on your own little island as a guy, right? And not seeing all these other things that are going on around you. So I think probably in large part, we're just oblivious to a lot of the things that women are really in tune with.
And that's why I said
what women want.
That's why I said that last woman, I was in agreement with her because the man didn't pay her no mind. He checked out. Now I like what she said. Check out what she said.
Marriage is the next thing that we are checking off our list of what we think will make us happy in life, is because we have no concept when we get married that we are actually making a commitment to another person. We're making a commitment to ourselves, that our vows actually mean something, and that when we get married, we have responsibilities and roles to make it work. As women, we are incredibly short-sighted, and all we think about in getting married is the wedding, the dress, and the party. Have no concept that we are actually stepping into a huge responsibility and a huge commitment that we are making to keep our word and follow through. And women will be the first to argue, my husband broke his vows. My husband does not follow his vows. He's the one that's not committed. Again, that is a projection of ourselves and our own lack of commitment in our marriage.
Oh, wow.
That we have no concept that our vows even mean something. We want to look good, sound good at the wedding, and that's it.
And most
I
women
agree.
think like that.
I agree. But that's crazy because see,
Yeah.
the wedding is just a show. We can put that money into a property and go get married at the courthouse, and we had the residual income, and then we'll be able to go and travel wherever we want because we got more than enough room. We got more than enough finance to do whatever we want to do, and we ain't got to worry about putting on that outside
Yeah, I
show.
mean you and that's the you that's talking now. That's the now you. But most women want that dream wedding, at least the first one.
I've always been that way though.
They want the fairy tale wedding.
I was just saying,
Even though I'm a
the
hopeless
person I'm talking
I don't
to,
want the fairy
he
tale
joked
wedding
and said that
because I
when I
look
do
at
a
it as an economic thing. I'm sorry, baby. I just look at it as an economic thing. It just doesn't make sense to waste that type of money.
Yeah,
To
that's the
me.
now you.
No, that's the old me, because I'm always frugal now. I've always been cheap. But I'm
Okay.
frugal, I'll say I'm frugal because here's the thing. I feel like our money can be, if I feel like our money can be best served somewhere else, then yeah, we need to do something else. I mean, if that's what he wants, then I'll go along with it. But it just feels like a grand waste of money to me.
All right, what do you think, Mandy?
I was gonna say, well, I mean, it is a big waste of money, but I personally want a big wedding. Well, or if it's not a big wedding, you can also like make it cheaper. A lot of people do destination weddings where they only invite a handful of people.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what I
The
did.
whole big thing for like maybe 3 or 4 thousand, and you have like everything, the setup, the food. Go to Mexico, so it's like me personally, I want a wedding. I do.
Mhm. We did the beach, Biloxi. But
that was good. White sand.
yeah, it was,
That was
it was
nice.
so yeah, majority of the women they gonna want a nice one. And then the ones who do say let's do justice of the peace, they end up regretting that or wanting that later on down the road.
I don't know, me. I want the money, baby. Baby, look, I want the money. Give me the money.
But see, okay, so see, people like Mandy and Mandy feel like she got a little money. So
Even if I had a million, I was sitting on millions, billions. I would still would rather put that money. I don't, for this same reason, I don't like gambling, right? It just feels like a waste of money.
I've heard
You
that
know,
before. A lot of people will be like they want the honeymoon. Like they'll be like
yeah,
sending
I'd rather
money.
have a honeymoon.
well,
Yeah.
on the cool, I mean, yeah, on the cool, the women, a lot of women want, like she said, the ring, the dress, you know what I'm saying, the wedding, the ceremony, and then
All
a
this
lot
for
of them,
show.
yeah,
All
a
this
lot of
just
them,
for
a
show.
lot of them want that. But at the end of the
All
day,
this just for show.
I want the marriage. I could care less.
Right.
Even though I'm going, like you say, if that's what she want, let's just say Mandy say, okay, we got 5,000. She and I dating, and she say, let's do 5,000 on a wedding, and then we spend, like if we were gonna, we let's just say we plan to do maybe 18 grand. I budgeted for 18 grand, and then she see other things, and she say, you know what? Let's do 5 grand on the wedding, and the rest we can do for the honeymoon. I'm cool with that because
Right.
I didn't spend that whole 18 grand or 15 grand on a goddamn ceremony for
And
other
reception.
people.
Feed the people.
Yeah, for other people to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? And
It's
then
just
a
for
lot of
show.
people that spend that 20 and 30 grand on them weddings, they end
They
up in
divorce. Now
divorce
those
in
are the
less
ones
than
that
5 years.
they divorce them within the 10 years.
Yeah, within 5 years. So I'm like, nah, I didn't want to do that. Now, if she say, well, yeah, let's go to Jamaica or let's go, somewhere else for the destination, for the honeymoon. Yeah, I'm cool with that. And then the rest of it, let's get a brand new car, pay cash for it, and this be our wedding car. I believe in stuff like that. But
I mean, I feel that
blowing all
100%.
that money just for one day to walk down the aisle to please your cousin, sister, and you to show out in front of your friends, your so-called friends. Because women, y'all ain't really got no real friends. Y'all so-called friends that you went to high school and college with that's hating on the background because you happy with your man and she ain't got there. Yeah,
You know.
I don't believe in that. I'm like, we spending all this money for this one day, but then guess what? The bills still got to be paid next month.
And when we come back from the honeymoon, we still got bills.
Reality still hits.
That's the reality of it. You see what I'm saying? And see,
Yeah. So $5 grand.
I honor the commitment. I honor the vows, like the lady was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, even when I was younger, if that was what I was gonna see, I've done enough so that I know that I wasn't in that good headspace, right? And so I would have been a toxic wife. I was a toxic girlfriend. I
So
think
you
I'm a
never
better
been married?
person.
You never been married?
I've never been married. I've been
Okay.
engaged, and I was with my son's dad for over 10 years. You know.
Okay,
But
Mandy, let me ask man this. Do you believe in shacking? Living with before marriage? Big Mama called it shacking.
Now because I was living with a man. I was engaged to him.
Exactly.
But now I
do
don't.
not.
I feel like we should
Exactly.
live separately until we get married. Just it's easier that way.
Yes. And what about let's take that money we was gonna spend on this grand wedding and buy our house together. You ain't moving into mine, and I ain't moving into yours. We
Oh
go
yeah, I'm
we
a
go
firm
run.
believer in that too. I don't really believe, especially a man. I don't care if Mandy got 4,500 square feet, 5
Right.
bedrooms, 4.5 baths. I couldn't move in with her because I'm gonna feel less than a man living with a woman. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna feel a little less. Even though
And I
I
wouldn't
don't
want to
know.
move
I
in
don't
with
know.
no
I don't know.
man. I
It
don't know
depends
who
on the
been on this
situation.
bed. I don't know
It
who
depends
been
on
laying and
if I
sleeping on
trust
this
her.
bed.
If I trust her and I know she's genuine, I would really have to. We'll really have to have a plan. This is a temporary fix. I just couldn't permanently let everything I got go. I don't know. It'll be tough. Me and her have to be in a good headspace for me to leave here to move to Texas and live with a woman. The
What about
independence in
people who
me.
have marriages and sometimes they don't sleep in the same room and sometimes they don't, like you
I'm
say,
out of it.
they don't be together. They might as well live
I'm
in
out of it.
separate cities.
They might as well not be together because I ain't gonna be with nobody who I don't want to be with.
But what if
I
your
want to be with
job
somebody
requires
who
you to be
I
out
want to
of
look
town?
in I want to gaze in my eyes whenever I'm at work or whenever I'm just bored. I want to be able to go in there and look at her.
But
I want to be
what
able to
if your
go in there
job is out of town?
and hug and kiss on her.
What if your
I
job
can't be
takes
with
you out of
nobody
town?
who I don't want to be around. I want it when my woman gone to the store for over 30 minutes to an hour. I want to miss her. Where you at? What you doing? What are you doing? I was just thinking about you type shit. If we ain't like that, if you sleep in another room, you might as well sleep somewhere else with somebody else. I ain't feeling that. Not
What
with
if
me.
your job takes you out of town?
If what?
And what if your job takes you out of town?
That's different because we ain't sleeping in, and we not every day permanently sleeping in different rooms.
That's
That's
the
bullshit.
same thing. We
No, it's
sleeping
not.
separately. You in a whole nother city.
Yeah, that's traveling, baby. That's part of life. Just like if
Right.
she have to go see her mom or something, and they're in Louisiana, I'm cool with that. But I'm saying our everyday living, she in one room and I'm in the other. She might as well just pack up and leave, and I help her leave, and I help her find somewhere to stay.
Me personally, I get what you're saying, and I was just playing devil's advocate. Me personally, as far as that, the only way I would go or require him to go sleep in another room is if we weren't we were having an
Right.
issue
And I
and we
volunteer,
didn't come
but
to
hey,
a
they are
conclusion.
pushing that now, where you're married and she got a condo on the east side and he got an apartment, a rent house on the west side. Damn that. Because when
They
your ass
needed
go
to
to
do
sleep, she's slipping her work boyfriend in there. His work wife. Damn that. No, I don't trust that. I got too many trust issues for that shit.
So you couldn't trust a traveling spouse who had to travel for work.
I'm gonna have to go on and jump off, y'all.
Okay, Mandy. Hey, get at me.
Great talking to you.
You got my info. Hit me up. We got other topics coming. It was a
Okay.
pleasure having you on tonight, and I look forward to
Nice
having
meeting
you. And
y'all.
if you
I
want
had
us
so
to
much
be,
fun.
If you want us to be a
Likewise.
guest on one of yours or want me to come on there, because I just tell it like it is. I ain't got no filter. Hit me up and let me know when, and I'll be more than happy to come on there and voice my opinion. And we do what we do. But I felt a cool vibe, so yeah, I definitely look forward to seeing you on here in the future.
Awesome. Y'all
All
have a good
righty.
night.
Get at me.
Great meeting you, love.
Bye.
Holla. But yeah, they are pushing that, living in different condos, living across town, living in different states, and people cool with that. It's just not for me, because I didn't grow up seeing that. That's not something I want. Now,
You have
a
made
traveling
reference.
person like you just asked, mine wouldn't do that. She either gonna choose traveling 24/7, being away from me, or with me. I want mine with me. And if you're gonna choose a job where you're traveling and you know I don't like that, then I'm gonna support you in leaving, and I'm gonna find me somebody who can be with me.
I get it.
And I'm good with that.
You
See, the
had made
difference
reference
is
that what if we don't ever find the man that we are equally yoked with? What I mean, because I think Manda was talking about I don't know, her what she needed at a wedding or a bed. And
right.
the thing about it is if you never find him, or he better yet, if he never finds you, you got to be solely okay with yourself and be good with keeping your in your own self company.
That's
And
what
a
I was
lot of
just
people
gonna
are
say.
not good at keeping their own self company.
That's what I was gonna say when you were talking earlier. See, I love me so much. I'm a loner. I'll be by myself. You get what I'm saying? I don't need nobody around me. I don't answer my door when people knock or the doorbell ring. I'm looking on the camera, seeing who it is. If I don't feel like moving, I don't move. If I don't feel like no company, which is 80% of the time, I don't like company. I don't want company. So I'm fine with me. I don't need nobody to talk to. I'm Gemini. I can talk to myself. So I don't really care for company or people like that. So when you love yourself, you see things different. You able to have standards. You able to have deal breakers. You able to have options because you're okay with yourself. So if you're not with that person, that's what I was explaining to Kurt last week. If that person just happened to not want to be in your life anymore, you have to love yourself enough to say, okay, it's okay.
But that's the same way women feel when they getting ready to divorce. They finally get it. They finally start saying, I got to love myself more than I've been putting this man, this marriage, this household before me. And it's not to no avail of being overseen, taken for granted, not being, loved correctly and properly. So I got to finally, when they finally say, I'm gonna put myself first, then that's where you get your this nigga got to go.
That's when yeah. I say the relationship shouldn't even get to that point if you guys trying to be together. It ain't no way I'm gonna walk down the damn aisle, spend the money on a tux or do whatever I do just to get in a relationship and treat her like a distant homeboy. And then I'm confused.
Like you said,
I'm confused when she ready to leave. So it shouldn't get to that point.
Men get comfortable.
It shouldn't get to that point though. So and
why
you
do
should
men
walk
get so comfortable?
You should walk in that relationship already loving yourself. I don't want a woman who immature, down, and don't know her worth. Because you're right, when she find her worth, she's gonna be a totally different person. She's gonna be someone who I didn't know I was with. Who are you?
Right.
So
right.
I need you damn near 100% whole.
I need to be
when I meet you.
100% whole. Right.
You know, I
Right.
say 80 because I understand people have baggage, people go through shit, and they need
People
to.
are flawed.
Yeah, they
People are
need to
flawed.
get themselves together. So if you 80% know who you are, what you want, and you just need a little help here because of your journey led you down the wrong path, I'm cool with that. But if you walking in here clueless and you depending on me for everything and you don't have your own voice, and then so when you do get your voice or you talk to the the sister, the aunt, the longtime friend that you hadn't seen in 15 years from high school, and now y'all have met up one summer and y'all hanging out and talking on the phone every day, and now all of a sudden you woke. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time.
See, that's what my uncle would call you can't switch boats in the middle of the pond.
Right. Yeah. I tell mine when we get together, my description be, okay, if I walk in every day and I hit her upside the back of her head, right? And she don't say nothing. Every day I walk in, we playing, and I just pop it like real quick in the back of her head. And she don't say nothing. And then one day I walk in, I do that, and she grabbed my hand and cursed me out and threatened to fight me. Well, baby, you should have said that as soon as I did it that it bothered you.
But why would you do some shit like that?
No, I'm just saying, I'm using that as an example. Like say that if somebody step on my foot, I'm gonna let you know that it hurts right then. I'm not gonna let that person keep stepping on it until I get fed up and I'm ready to kill them. So I say that's where I say
take stuff like that.
Communication is the key that eliminates all that. Even when you say they found themselves and now they ready to do for themselves, I feel like it was lack of communication. Because I feel like if a man or a woman tell the other one what they're needing, like I wasn't used to the lovey-dovey, huggy, walking through the holding hands and all that shit. That ain't what I did, period. But if she say, you don't have to be so hard all the time, it's okay. I just want to cuddle. Can I just do this without you being hard? They're letting you know what they want. Now let's just say I ignore that and I just keep on being hard.
That's what women
don't want to hold a hand.
We keep on telling you every time. And then once we get ignored over and over again, we become tired.
Then you saying fuck it. And then now we look like what's wrong? You know what's wrong. I told you what's wrong. Or they have a whole list. Y'all have a whole list of things that y'all want your mates to do.
Because we done let it pile up.
And then when they don't do it, you slip off and mess with somebody, and then you be like, well, I tried to tell you. I hear a lot of my partners say she tried to tell you. I say, nah, if she was trying to tell you, she would have sat you down and y'all would have talked. All that little extra, we need to do more stuff.
You're right. I don't do subliminal. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk like adults.
Yeah, let's talk. Don't just say when you're mad and we arguing. A lot of women like to say things when you're arguing.
No, if I tell you how whatever you did or said make me feel a certain type of way.
Yeah.
And I see that you taking measures to correct that or appease that.
Yeah.
Then we can keep going forward. But if you show no indication, no sign, and you keep showing me the same behavior over and over again, eventually the light bulb is gonna come up and come on.
I had to learn that, Mandy, because AJ, I had to learn that because that was I think that was one of my biggest things trying to be in a relationship, because I'm so set in my ways, and I know what I'm saying and what I'm doing. I know my intentions, but my intentions may not set right with you and how you interpret what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, I have to learn that it's not. I can't force my way of thinking or my intentions. I can't make you understand them or agree with what I'm doing.
But I would love for you to tell me. You got to tell me your intention. You got to tell me what you think, right? So I might do agree, or we can come to a middle ground, a compromise. You see. But just me and them women not telling people actually how they feel because we're scared of looking like a simp or vulnerable,
Right. And that was my thing too. I didn't I grew up where you don't cry over spoiled milk. You don't cry. A man don't supposed to cry at all, right? And so when I first met mine, and I told you I did everything to run her off. That was one of them, because I was like, I didn't want her to be sentimental, crying over stuff. What you crying for? It ain't gonna solve it. Somebody die crying ain't gonna bring them back. I'm preaching that, but she's an emotional type person. And I didn't let her be herself because she didn't want to cry around me, because she didn't want to hear me say, "What the fuck you crying for? It ain't nothing you can do about that." You know, her mama.
And that's another thing. If I can't be myself,
Yeah.
oh man, I got to be somebody just to be around you, and I got to walk on eggshells or
Yeah.
walk on
And see,
my
that was
tiptoe.
me the first 2 years. I was like,
you need to buy her some roses every Wednesday. Every time you go on this podcast,
oh, she gets
you
split.
need
She
to
be
buy the
posting it.
roses in that van because
She gets
honey,
split. But
you put
like I
her
said,
through too much.
that was over 15 13 years
Exactly.
ago.
You need
But
to still make up for that because that's some bullshit.
I was hell. And that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
was
that's
hell.
too much. That's too
But I
much. That's
paid
too
when
much.
I did the I do thing, and I would never wanted to do the I do thing. So that kind of cleared all that up. But I was hell when I look back at it.
Yeah, you
And
took
all her
me
friends
hell.
and family be like, "Oh, you just spoiled, you this, you that." They don't know the hell she went through to get that. You know, and me being wiser. You know what I'm saying? Just like you became wiser, I had to grow. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, I had to mature because the lifestyle I was living, being a club promoter, being a DJ, having the local fame and worldwide, have been different places, hanging with different celebrities. So I saw things different, and I know who I can get on the phone and call and catch a flight and be with. So I felt like I didn't need nothing and nobody. You get what I'm saying? And a female, being committed to one female, was not on my radar. I just figured I'll keep, a roster, 3 or 4 women, and I see who I see when I see them. And if they want to clock out, fine. You leave, I go get another. I'll see another tomorrow. You know, and and I wasn't planning on doing this this thing. You know what I'm saying? But she wouldn't leave. And that's when I was like, you know what?
You got you a good one.
Yeah. You need to calm your ass down. I curse, but I'm a Gemini. I curse myself out all the time. I say, you need to sit your ass down, realize what the hell you got. Because if you lose this one, you damn sure ain't gonna find it. You damn sure ain't gonna find. And then the women start getting real crazy. I met her in 2012. You already know by 2015, y'all was on them fuck them nigga shit. We gonna treat y'all the way y'all treat us.
Yeah.
Y'all having sex with no feelings. God damn it, we doing it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn. And then you thinking you finna fall for this one, and she get through with you, and then the next night somebody else sitting in the driveway, and you looking like, damn, I thought we made a connection last night.
We did, but that was last night.
Thank you. And so when I learned that's how the streets had came, I was like, you know what, boy, you better hold on to that.
Yeah.
And like I said, she was raised by a grandmama, so it's a different vibe. Grandmama scared the hell out of us. She hadn't been out there, one guy she's trying to be with. She probably had like 3, 4 boyfriends, and then she was a long-term relationship person. So people she would date, she'll be in a relationship for 2 years, 3 years with them, and then the last relationship she was in for about 4 years or something like that, and then they split up, and then that's when we met. And like I said, I wasn't even trying to meet her. I was doing photos for somebody who wanted to. The owner of the club was looking for people to promote, and he wanted to put her and her friends on a flyer. And I was a photographer, so I just snapped them up. I was so nonchalant, but when I took her the photos and we hung out, that's when things elevated. But before then, I wasn't gonna say nothing else to her. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like living my life, doing what I do.
Right.
But yeah, and she was just gonna be a number. If anything jumped off, she just a number. You know what I'm saying? But I talked to her for about 2, 3 weeks, maybe a month, and then I was gonna move on. Shit, next. But it didn't happen like that. So, but But yeah, now this is what happened when they mess up and leave that husband. A lot of them try to go back. Like I said, that Maury girl running back to that Corey guy features out.
Divorce my husband. Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success. That's fucking sickness. I found myself divorced and out there looking for love in all the wrong places. Fucking this one and that one and that one and that one and this one and that one. And my body count going up and my value going down. I'm just going to call it like a TI is. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them. I should have stayed married to my husband. I felt like I was on this dark road with no street lights, pitch dark, and I couldn't find my way and didn't know which way to go. I felt lost. I felt like I was walking barefoot on that dark road with pebbles and hot rocks sticking my foot. I felt hurt. I felt alone because every time he and that one and this one and that one left my bed, I was alone all by myself. And which was supposed to be soft and comfortable for me, my pillow, it was now filled with tears. I should not have left my husband.
That's true.
She
That's
went in
true.
hell leaving her.
Yeah. But see,
And a lot of them
she's
do
full
that.
of regret. She's full of regret. So you got to make conscious. I don't like making decisions when I'm upset or too emotional. I have to realize that I am an emotional being and that I try to make life altering decisions when I'm in that emotional state, right? Because you fuck around and you regret things. And so when you make a decision from a conscious effort, you don't regret, you're not regretful. You see. She divorced out of emotion or what she thought was greener on the other side.
Right. Which is a lot of them
It
do.
never is. See, if grass is green, like the old folks say, grass greener wherever you water it. It's where you nurture it. If you nurture that grass, it'll grow. But if you don't do nothing to it, it's gonna die.
That's true. And Pete, what he said, this is he a marriage counselor.
Women leave their husbands for the stupidest and dumbest reasons I have ever heard of my life. Very few times have I heard actually legit reasons for divorce, and I thought about the most common reason that I get for leaving. The father of your children or their husband, and it is that these women outgrew him. The amount of women that I have met that casually destroyed their entire families because they outgrew their husbands is genuinely depressing. And what you typically get from the modern mothers that are coping and can't accept the fact that they actually made the wrong, most selfish decision that they have ever made in their life. Oh, let me just put my kid at every statistical disadvantage. Oh, let me only see both of my parents half the time in the month. Oh, let me make my kid more likely to run away from home, more likely to drop out of school, and more likely to be abused because of my feelings of outgrowing him. It's so funny. Women are so self-centered that they use every single cope to make their selfish decision. Not sound like a selfish decision. You know, it's funny. When women win the lottery, they tend to divorce their husbands. When men win the lottery, they tend to stay. Women.
Wow.
And that's deep, ain't it? And that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
And like I said, when a woman get a lot of money, she finna go try to get everything she wants. Whether it's curtains, a bedroom too, whether it's whatever. When that man get money, he like, baby, what we need? I'm finna go and pay this bill up. He go you $500, he go you $1,000. You know, that what that man do. That woman gonna think about all she want first.
Well, what about men who can't accept the woman making more money than them? Why you get quiet?
After we touched upon that a long time ago. I really wouldn't have no problem with it because I run the household. I'm head of household. So
Right.
any money that comes in the house is gonna hit my bank account, and then we gonna do what we need to do with it, and then you get you get X amount.
Right. Right.
Yeah, 'cause that's how we run ours.
But see, because that's the problem a lot of times. You know, it ain't just when a woman get the money, she's selfish. Because even if she's going to buy the curtains and a brand new stove, it's for the house, right? She'll go spend money on the house. She go buy a new washer and dryer, that little stove she been eyeing. You know, it's got the 5 burners and the
What about
griddle.
the
You know,
ones
stuff
going to
like
get
that.
them Chanel bags, a hair did, and
But see, that's so
and
materialistic.
clothes off fashion note?
And don't get me wrong, I love a designer purse because they last. They last longer. Okay.
I'm talking about every month you got to get a different one.
But no, that's materialistic. That's a waste of money.
Okay.
Again, I mean, I could be sitting on Donald Trump money and I wouldn't do that.
Right. Okay.
You know, it just all depends on the woman. You know, because I've always this woman I've always been. We're not gonna waste. I'm not gonna require so much, but yeah, a new bag for my birthday or Mother's Day or
Right.
just for us. I love that. You
Right.
know, but not to keep up with no Joneses. We don't have
Right.
to do
Right.
that.
Like I said, that's what I was saying. It'll be a gift. You when she passes a semester and we're celebrating whatever you wanted that I thought or I think is out of the reach that we shouldn't do every month, we'll do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You deserve that. It's a
Give her
celebration.
that Rolex when she graduates.
Yeah. Yeah. Things like that.
She deserved that Rolex from you.
Right. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think she's looking at a guest watch or something now. But yeah, something like that. You deserve it because
Yeah.
you know it's something like that. We just not getting it because we seen Rashida with it on Love and Hip Hop.
No.
You know.
I think
But,
that's a mindset. That's an immature mindset at that because
exactly. So
you
yeah, I
know that's
mean
material things.
I've been you know, I've been blessed and I don't take nothing for granted. So I just be chilling.
Please don't take that woman for granted, cause
mm,
baby,
no,
please
I
don't
know
take her for
y'all
granted.
hell out there now.
Don't nobody
So,
else want you.
ain't it? I know y'all hell there. Cause I'm gonna be hell.
You
They gonna want me, but they ain't gonna want me.
Yeah, you
'Cause
hard on.
I'm hell.
Yeah.
But I done got better since the podcast and since being
Well,
in the
glory be to
marriage.
God.
I done got way better. And it take my other hosts to tell you how bad I used to be. But
Look at
even
God.
Kurt know a little something too. But
Look at
with that
God.
being said, why y'all okay, you agree with the before we close out, your thing is with this divorce stuff. Your main thing is you like the fact that women get tired.
I don't like when women are being dogged out for calling that getting a divorce when they've been overseen. I mean, not seen in the marriage, overlooked in the marriage, taken for granted in the marriage. You know, you can't knock her for wanting a divorce if that's the environment.
Now, like I say, I agree with that. Not feeling like she has a voice, feeling neglected. He rather hang with his friends.
And as far as why women lease to marry is because men don't mature. You know, it's hard to get a man on your level. It's hard to get somebody you feel equally yoked to. So that may take time. And, you know, and like I said, if it never happens, you got to be okay with it. But that's why we lease to marry. But
Well,
I don't think we
another
the
guy
first to
said
file
something
a
else.
divorce.
Let me see something. What he said. Hold on a minute. Because he went out. He said, let me see if I can find what he said. He went out on y'all. Let's see where he at. Hold on. I'm gonna come back. You just stay on here. Hold on. I'm finna see can I dig it up.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. He said
We got severe weather coming in, rolling in right now. Tornadoes and all kind of thunderstorms. And I'm just sitting here trying to make sure I got everything charged up in case the lights go out.
What state are you in?
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, we might get it if it's
Where are
coming
you?
your way.
Where are you?
I'm in Georgia.
Okay. Yeah, it's
But
coming y'all way.
yeah, this guy said it's y'all attitudes, and he went out. I can't find where I had his text. I thought I put it on here, but he says y'all attitudes, your mouths. You don't want to listen to nobody. I'm thinking this did. Hold on. Oh yeah. This is what he said. He said he made it like as soon as y'all find a white guy, he said attitude problems, especially towards black men. But as soon as they meet a white man, they automatically have the ability to transform to Kerry Washington or Hillary Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I believe. See, I'm mad as I teach this to my son. You the head of your house. You supposed to lead. You create the environment that you want, right? And if the environment of your house is wrong, it's on you to correct it because you the leader, right? So
Right.
when you say a woman has the ability to turn into Hillary Banks, it's because that environment was created for her to become Hillary Banks. You didn't create that environment for her to be Hillary Banks with you. That's how same way with a man can be one way with one woman and be a whole different man with another woman. Same thing. It's the
Yeah,
environment that other person creates.
I agree because that's what I say. I always say women and men do what you allow them to do.
Yeah.
And it just certain things I'm not gonna allow. You ain't finna be hanging with your friends all night. You ain't finna come up in here doing this. You ain't gonna be wearing that when we go out. You ain't wearing this when you go that places. It's just a lot of things I'm not gonna tolerate. I'm not gonna tolerate.
I get it. And
I
out of respect, I will not do it. But here's the thing. Here's some shit I don't tolerate. You ain't gonna be coming in here and we out all night. You ain't gonna be doing all this hanging out. You ain't gonna be, it's got to be the same. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
right. Yeah, and that's what I say is the key to making any relationship work. Because soon as we got married, I don't even think a week left, I was mad and talking about I shouldn't have did. Because I didn't want, because that was my thing for not wanting to do it no way. So I was looking for something. And I learned within that journey that it's more of, number one, you gotta want to be in something. That's number one.
Yeah, you gotta want it.
You gotta want it. And my thing is,
gotta be free will.
If I don't, the key to making any relationship work, and this whether you're in business or whatever, don't do unto that person that you don't want that person to do unto you.
That's true.
And one thing, and that works. Like if I don't want you lying to me, then I can't lie to you. If I don't want you slipping off hanging with guys, I don't slip off and hang with females.
Right.
If I don't, if she tell me, well, I don't want you wearing that fit to the gym, it's a little too flashy and draw too much attention, then I'll go back and consider changing, my type.
What if she had a male best friend?
I don't do male best friends.
Do you do female best friend?
They're all right. It just depends on how best they are and
Oh,
how
so
that
you
person
can
is.
have a female best friend, but she can't have a male best friend.
No, I don't really have female best friends.
Okay.
I don't really do that. I don't do the best friends. Now, like I said, when I tell you I don't really talk to nobody, I don't really talk to nobody.
I got you.
I'm to myself. I don't fuck people. People need things, and they ain't never got nothing to give you. They don't ever have that to give you. So I'm like, why have them?
I look at it like my cup, pouring into my cup. I need people that pour into my cup and not just sip from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't have that. People only call me when they need stuff. And so I don't have friends like that. No, sir. Because I'm an asshole by nature. So I don't have a lot of friends.
I think that's a Gemini thing.
Man, I don't know what it is. But I ain't never had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, it's pretty much mutual. She likes friends, and I have no problem with her having friends.
As long as they not me.
Huh?
As long as they not, I can see her not having no new men friends. But what if she had a male best friend before y'all got together?
I mean, she had one. And he married. They talk every blue moon, very seldom. He used to work with her mom, and they all used to kind of work together. He was like a play brother, that type of shit. I'm cool with that. But it ain't gonna be nobody who she on the phone with 24/7 and tell them our business. No, sir. But if we got something going on, let's just say we finna do an event, we decorate, the queen and I. So let's say she decorate, I do the DJing. Let's just say we doing an event and he knows somebody who she can get in touch with for something we need in the city. And she'll hit him up. And oh, hey, long time no see. Hey, I need this and that and that and that. Hey, let me call them right quick for you. That type of shit. Let me give you their number and tell your husband I said, hey, I'm cool with that. But the single friend is on the phone and for her to call and talk to, hey, what you doing today? Meet me at the mall, or me and John finna go here. I don't do that shit. Period. No, we ain't even finna play like that. That's a wrap. And then I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So no. It's a mutual respect thing. But yeah, she like people. So if she wanna have one or two friends, even they come here or she go there for a weekend, I got no problem with that. Because I'm always busy and I got stuff going on. And with me feeling, with me being anointed, I feel like if it's something I need to know, I'm gonna find out anyway. I don't really go looking for stuff.
No, because when you look, you will find
Yeah,
everything.
and then when you find it, it's not even what you thought it was. But the fact that you look for it, it's gonna look like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna believe what you think anyway, because that's just human nature.
Right.
So I don't do that. So my thing is, do you? And if you mess up and I find out, I'm out. And just think hard about what you do before you do it, because I'm gonna be all right either way it goes. Because I ain't done nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. If you want to go here, there, do that. And then when I'm ready to go, I don't want to hear no complaints either. If I want to catch a flight and go visit my brother in Dallas, or hook up with another partner, we fly to New York. You went to hang out with whoever, and now I'm finna go to New York when you get back. Goose and gander shit. You ain't say nothing, you can't say nothing. And I'm not gonna call you when she gone. I don't call. She gets mad because I don't call her. I'm like, call me when you get a break. And I'm in here making my music, doing my thing. Did you get a chance to check out my live the other night?
I did not, and I'm gonna do better.
Are we friends on Facebook?
I don't think so. I don't think
you
so.
need to add me then, because I couldn't find you. Because I don't know if you ate there, got another name on Facebook, but
no, I'm Africa on Facebook. That's my real name.
Yeah, one of my good female friends named Africa. She married my cousin. But yeah, look me up though and shoot me an inbox or something so I can send you the link so you can click on and check it out. Last Friday was good, man. Look, this past Friday was tight. I did my thing on that. I have a clip or two. I'm probably gonna post another clip probably tomorrow promoting Friday, but I did it Saturday. I did it on Saturday last week.
Oh, okay. You gonna do it on Friday this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do Friday this week. But Saturday has such a cool vibe So I don't know if I'm gonna switch it to Saturday. So I'm just gonna test the water. I'm gonna do Friday probably this week, and then I'm gonna look at the views and see which one I'm gonna jump on. But yeah, it was tight. I played a lot of Louisiana music, the old school stuff, all the way back to Master P, and I did that. Then I played some slow jams. I played. Man, I got deep. I played a lot. I think I played some Jodeci, some Tevin Campbell, some. I was playing a little everything.
Okay.
So yeah, jump on there and check it out though. I'm gonna send you the link and just inbox me that I know it's you, but you say Africa, so I'll know it's you. And you are on
Okay.
TikTok, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, it's on TikTok, like I said, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. But sometimes I don't really go on to about 8:30 because I give people time to look and share it. But it's grown folk mix, and I try to do a little everything. So I start out with Afro beats, then I take you to the club. So I'm gonna play some throwback club stuff. And then after we leave the club, I'm gonna do a little blues. Then after the blues, I do old school R&B. And then after the old school R&B, I do them slow jams so I get out of here. So I'm thinking this week I'm probably gonna do stuff like I'm gonna go back to what mom and dad and them used to listen to. Some duets, some Baby Come to Me, and
Secret Lover.
yeah, stuff like that. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, I'm gonna do some Atlantic Star. Probably, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be that era, and then I like to jump into the late '80s and '90s. You know, the Bobby Brown, New Edition, Key Sweat.
Okay.
You know, then I might do a little Drew Hill, some R. Kelly, Drew Hill, Cut Close, Next, Deborah Cox, stuff like that. And I slow jam it out at the end. I probably do about 30 minutes of slow jam, 15 minutes of everything else. So it's pretty cool. So just check it out. I'll be playing a couple of little trail ride songs, you know what I'm saying? I had them pulling the fans out last week. Where the fans at? You know what I'm saying? So check it out though. I'll be doing my thing. I'm gonna try to post a clip or two also. It's a clip on my page. Well, it was, but you'll see it if you go to TikTok. DJ D Black, you'll see it. And you actually see a session that I did on there because it's in my story. But peep it out, let me know. But it's been a pleasure speaking with you, man.
Likewise.
I'm glad to have you back again. You know, it was cool feeding off you and Mandy, getting those ideas and seeing why women think the way they think. Two women, two different ideas, and that was tight. Y'all wasn't just saying, "Yeah, you right." Y'all was voicing your opinions, and that's what I like. So we're gonna keep more of that coming. And at the minute you're gonna be a regular on the show, and that's gonna be what it do right there. And like I said, if you know anybody, any other female, when you see certain topics, feel free to share the link with them, and we'll get them on here. And I just be
That's
wanting.
what I need to be able to do. I was trying to share the link tonight, but I couldn't. It won't let me. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna try
Well,
to.
you couldn't. All you had to do was cover the link and hit copy and paste it.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me do all that. All it came up was, how you can thumbs up or heart it or those emojis, to the
Okay,
message.
you clicked on the same link you did, the one that's under the main post.
No, I clicked on the link that George sent me.
Oh, George sent you the link. So you George friend.
We went to junior high school together.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay. But no, once you my friend, the link is always under the post. So you will see it. And but add me, you see you see my page, right?
You're right, I seen it.
Okay. Add me and then look at my page and then go under the actual broadcast and you will see the link. Cause I was like, here's the link to join. Click on this to join live. And you'll just highlight that link and copy and paste it to wherever you wanted to go.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
All righty, and until next week, it's been a pleasure, like always. And I want you to enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your week, and have a lovely weekend. And like I say, check me out. I'll post when I'm gonna go. But I'm probably gonna, when we get off of here, I'm probably gonna get my ideas together, and I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. But if not, for sure, Friday. If not, for sure, it's gonna be Saturday. But I'm gonna try to do it Friday.
All right.
All
I'll
right.
be looking for it.
And on that note, like I say, check me out. Facebook Live Grown Folks Session on TikTok from 8 p.m. until I usually go live around 8:30, and I rock it for about an hour and a half after that. So check me out, get in, playing a little everything. One DJ, all genres. But with that being said, I'm out. Thank y'all for joining the Speak On It podcast. Shout out to Mandy, George, Kurt, Austin. It's been a pleasure. And we out of here, AJ. Holla. I always say, peace.
What you think, man? I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it, because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Like, I don't understand why I have to only love one person, or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is? Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, this complicates things for us men, because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told them, don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father like that? Is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are. Like absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, what I understand with my father.
Men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I know Rick James, I know, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So you
being a provider means so many things.
right.
It means put you in a house. You know, it means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means
Right.
I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. You know, that's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband.